You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo Let's Go. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo Let's Go, and I'm coming at you with another live stream. I wish I never went to the party, the door part two. That's right. As you enter into the chat, make sure you hit the thumbs video, shares the video. If you want to support the Cash App, it's pinned to the top. If you want to support the Super Chat, the dollar sign, it's on the bottom right. Okay, so this video is going to be a clip of a guy who went to an event, a YouTuber who went to an event, and he described what happened. Now, he took the video down. The thing is, someone else did a response to it. So we're going to go to that person. Before we go to that video, he did a recent video in response because of what Cat Williams said, what's going on with the E. Diddy situation. I call him E. R. Diddy, Emergency Run Diddy. So we're going to hear that part first. Then we're going to get to the clip of what happened to him when he was invited as a YouTuber, because I talk about YouTubers going through the door. And so we're going to hear what he has to say. So first, let's get to the recent one. Then we're going to go to the one what he took down, okay? So let me get everything set up. Give me a second. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's get to the history of my channel. I'm using StreamYard, so I'm not using OBS. I'm using OBS on the next live stream. The next live stream, I'm using OBS. Let's see, where's it at? Where are you? You here somewhere. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And shout out to everybody that's entering the chat. The moderator, Charity Ivy's in the building. I saw her first in the comment section. Okay, I'm trying to find it right now. Here we go. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. All right. Let's get to it. All right.
A few months ago, the other day, to TikTok, and it got over 4 million views overnight. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's about this party that I got invited to in LA. And when I initially dropped it, it didn't really get any traction. I'm pretty sure the first time I dropped it, it got like 20,000 views. I was just like, I guess nobody cares about the weird thing that happened to me in LA. I guess it's a boring story. I guess it's not cool. I guess we're just going to move.
He was surprised he didn't get that many views because people didn't probably believe him, because it's a lot of YouTubers be saying things and they're not to be true. I believe this guy is very credible. I don't believe he's capping. Like I said, I'm gonna let him talk about why he deleted the video. Then we're gonna get to the video from another content creator that has the video. All right, let's go.
On here, and I just kind of let it go. I just like let it slide. I just moved on with my life. I just kept making other content. But in this past month, it blew up. It blew up on YouTube, so I decided to re-upload it to TikTok, and it went crazy. And so many people were asking me so many things. People were accusing me of things. People were trying to find inconsistencies in the story. People were being outright.
That could be them doing that. That could be them doing that with their burn accounts. Because KD said he has a burn account. A lot of them have burn accounts, and they do be watching content creators such as yourself. They be watching.
Right, victim blamers. And I kind of realized why it just blew up recently with everything that's going on with Diddy, Ryan Garcia, and the Drake Bell stuff. So I kind of see why the public attention is on it. But one of the main
I don't know anything of Ryan Garcia. I don't know anything of Ryan Garcia. I don't know who that is. And someone tell us in the chat yesterday, me and Martha Messenger, about a different Hebrew Israelite camp we're not even aware of. There's so many coming out of nowhere, it seems like, which I'm not surprised. Let's go.
main accusations was that I did this after all of that stuff. But if you go check when I uploaded this video, it was over 3 months ago. I uploaded it before any of these people came out, before any of these accusations, before any of this stuff was released. And I know there's been similar stories and people say similar things about weird stuff that happens in LA. But I don't think anybody has put out such a detailed account of the stuff that happens there. And that kind of moves me on to my next point. There's a couple things I want to address in this, and I just want to clear up everything for you guys. I'm going to go over all of the most common comments that I got, the most common accusations that I got, just what it seems like you guys want to know the most about. And I'm not sure how much more detailed I could really be about the party in general or the entire experience in general. I could definitely go into more of the stuff of how they were messing with me after. Let me know if you guys want to hear that. But a lot of people are telling me to say what I saw in the 6th room. And that confuses me a little bit because I don't know why you guys want me to say it. Do you guys want me to give you like vivid, horrible descriptions of illegal activities that are like disgusting and done to people that they shouldn't be done to?
Did you hear what he just said? And there's other countless people saying that they record people. You hear this all the time. The late Steve Coakley talked about it. And you also had a YouTuber go by the name of Yash Koala. Myself, Newbie, and others, came along and paved the way. You have a few other content creators I no longer talk about this from time to time. So Steve Coakley, Yash Korala, then us and others started talking about the industry. Okay? I give its proper respect due who was first. It was Steve Coakley. Let's go.
That's a bit weird to me. You want to hear those words come out of my mouth. I don't want to describe it to you. It's grotesque, it's disgusting, it's hideous, it's heinous. Stuff that they do is unspeakable. It's like gross, and they record it so they could hold it over you for your entire life. So for the people that are saying, say what they did, I want to hear it come out of your mouth. That's gross. It's a little bit weird that you so.
Those people in your comment section could be the people that know of you, know your whereabouts, and trying to see if you're going to say the names so they could have their defense that they have. See, these people don't realize these people have unlimited defense. They have certain political affiliates. They have certain officers on their bankroll. They have certain lawyers that, even if your lawyer is pretty good, he's going to bow down to the lawyer they have and get out of it for family reasons and threatening reasons. Okay? This is not a game. So he's not going to say it. What he's saying is you should know who it is. Any athlete or any entertainer you could think of, more likely it's at those events. He's right. Why would he want to mention the names for? You should know this by now.
Desperately want me to explain to you what I saw. What I saw was horrible. What I saw was illegal, and what I saw was inhumane. And I don't want to say it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to describe it to you. It's gross. It's not something cool to say on the internet. You could look at some of the stuff that Ryan was saying. He was being a little bit more graphic than I'm going to be here. For the people that are like, say it, I don't believe you unless you vividly describe this horrible thing. You're gross. Go to the dark web, figure something out. Like, clearly you guys want to watch something horrible and you want to hear something horrible. I'm not going to give that to you. Another thing that people were asking me to do was to drop names of people that I saw at that party. And I'm not sure why you want me to do that either. Because if you look at all of the people that you see as celebrities, it is so blatantly clear who is involved and who is not. So I'm not really sure why you guys want me to call people out publicly. And I don't know why you would want me to do that for my sake. Because if I start saying these things publicly about very specific people, they're going to sue me for defamation. They're going to come after me with resources that I don't have. I don't have the resources to defend myself from these people.
Let's get to the Bible. Let's get to the Bible. This is very important. This is very, very important. Let's get to the scriptures. Because when you're going to go against these people, you got to have these things situated. Let's go to the Bible real quickly. Okay? Ecclesiasticus 7 and 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. You got to have these things when you go against these people. The Bible tells you in the book of Joel, chapter 9, verses 24, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. So they have the defense. So he has funds, he don't have the defense. It's a difference when you have funds and you don't have the defense, because these people have a defense. And they will mess up your whole life. And then they either lock you up, make you disappear, or have a smear campaign to the point that you won't even make money no more. This stuff is real. So for all these people coming in his comment section, who I think is those people that's part of that clique, he's smart enough to know. Think for yourself who it is. You might get your answer. I'm not telling you. You can't get mad at him. He's telling you the right truth. In a sense, I don't got the defense. I'm not going to play against these people's resources. Let's go.
So I'm not sure why you exactly want me to do that. I'm just telling you what happened and how they operate. And I'm just giving you the information of how that world works. telling you that a lot.
If people don't believe in you, it's on them. If people don't believe in what you're saying, you can't go back and forth with these people in the comment section. I'm the same way. If people don't believe in what I'm saying and what I'm doing, I let them be. Because I ain't got time to be going back and forth with people that could be the ones who's watching me and having tabs on me. If I say certain names and certain this, certain that. They ain't gonna be at that. They ain't gonna bail you out, more likely. They're just gonna say, "Oh, thank you for telling us," and go with their merry life and try to see what other people say.
A lot of them are involved in it. I don't know why you guys want me to describe the things, and I don't know why you guys want me to drop specific names. You guys already know, and I don't know why you need to hear me say it. I'm literally not going to lose everything by calling out specific people who have more resources than me that could destroy my life with one lawsuit. Another thing that I wanted to go over was a lot of people were saying that the way that they were messing with me wasn't scary. People were saying they're just...
No, they're capable of knowing where you live at. They have keys to your house. I talked about this before. They have keys to your house. They have keys to your apartment. Okay? They definitely, when I was at the Marriott, they gave me a warning at that Marriott in Florida. When I went to the Marriott in Florida, just like how Newbury went to the Marriott in DC, and y'all seen that video of me seeing the TV on, they let me know they was there. Oh yeah, they let me know they was there. They knew I was going to the Marriott. That's one of their favorite places. You got to have serious bread to go to the Marriott, even if it's for one night, even if it's like a smaller Marriott to the huge Marriott. They go there. Oh, they paid me a visit. Somebody from New York paid me a visit. They let it be known. I know it's from New York because I saw a New York car out there. Okay? And so whoever it was, they had the TV on. Everybody was in on it. The thing is, I was not going to let them fear me and me lose money. So I stayed. So I just had everything properly set up to whereas if they try, I know how they do things. I'm going to leave it at that. They paid me a visit because they want me to be part of that industry. Sometimes they'll do the skit, have the TV on, move the couch. I know they took my card. They took my card. I told Zach about it. They took my card. For those who don't know, they took my bank card. Yeah, they took my bank card. And I reported them. I had my lawyer in on it. And to this day, they got in trouble eventually. It came out in the news that they're doing some things that, is very, very skeptical. So I don't go there no more. The point is that they took my bank card to try to get information, to try to freeze my account. You get what I'm saying? Make me don't have an account. Make me not have money. This is why I tell y'all, have other accounts. You never know. Okay? Somebody from New York was watching me. I know that for a fact. From the industry. They've been wanting me for a long time. I talked about it with Newbury and Ringo again. The corn industry. They wanted me for a long time. Some way, somehow, they wanted to revisit that. Because at that time, I was going through certain things. And so they know when you go through certain things. They know about your accounts. They know where you work at. They know who you with. And I do believe that any lady that gets with me has to understand that they may try to talk to you. This is why you got to be careful as my lady of what you say about me. And I do believe sometimes a woman slips up and say certain things they're not supposed to say. And then they'll tell the woman, hey, look, you can't be with him no more. Because if you stay with him, we're going to tell him what you told us. Oh, that's how I be telling y'all. If you're saying something you're not supposed to say, they'll try to be cool with me and cold and tell me what you say. You won't even know I know. So that's why if you, my lady, you have to be careful what you're telling the family, what you're telling your friends they may know somebody you don't know, and pay them to watch you, to watch me, and then next thing you know, some shit going down. This stuff is real. This is why you got to have conversations with people that you deal with. This is not a game. The industry been wanting me for a long time. Let's go.
Fixing your stuff. They're buying you free half and half. I'd take that. Ha ha ha. LOL. Just completely discrediting how horrific that is. Going through that, where every time you come in your house, something's a little different. I didn't even say all of the stuff that they did. I gave like a couple details because it didn't really seem like people were that interested. So I just kind of stopped posting it because
Right,
nobody believes you, nobody cares. They just call me schizophrenic on Facebook,
right.
completely dismissing me. But now that other bigger names are saying it, people that you actually believe, the Ryan Garcias, the Diddy allegations, the Drake Bells, now that these
Yeah, yeah, because they have more of a name. Now they want to watch what you're saying. They didn't believe in your message before. Now, because of all these things that's coming out in the woodworks, now they want to watch your video. That's how people are. That's how these yes people are. Let's go.
people are saying it, now you're like, oh wait, maybe he wasn't bullshitting. Maybe this stuff is going on. Maybe we should actually listen to the other people that are saying it. But you guys are still minimizing the kind of stuff that they do. They don't publicly, openly say, hey, we're going after this guy for this because he knows this, and I'm going to threaten.
Do you like having a P.O. box but are tired of waiting?
Yeah, let's let this go through. Hold on.
These people were coming into my private house. They were flipping my batteries. They were fixing things that only I would notice. I can't tell that to anybody. I look crazy saying it on the internet. They fixed my doorknob. They fixed the manual on my car.
They could fix the manual on your car. I never told y'all this, right? I never told y'all this story. One of the cars that I have, I know they changed the transmission because everything, I always check the car before I go, right? Always check the vehicle, inspect the vehicle. Like New Breed said that sometimes they mess with your tires. Sometimes they will open your door. They have access to your car, right? So even if you have an old car, they have access. Don't think because a lot of you have an old vehicle, they can't get into your old vehicle. Because a lot of people be misconstruing, well, it's a lot easier for them to get in a new cars. I'm not saying that they can't get in the new cars. They could get into your old car too. All of them have keys. If they want you, they will make themselves known. And one of the ways that I knew that they was watching while I was going driving is because one of the vehicles I have, I always inspect it before I drive off, and I knew something was wrong with the transmission. So I called the guy that's in charge of the vehicle, and I said, "Hey, you got to change the transmission because I'm stuck on this certain road." And he was like, "Wait a minute, I just changed my transmission before you rent the car a month ago." And I said, "Sir, I'm just being honest. I could show you I'm not being facetious." He didn't know what was going on. I can't say he's in on it because it's through a third party. At the same time, they knew I drove that vehicle. How? Somebody saw me with that car, know who I am. They didn't care if it's somebody else's car. They just trailed me. Okay. They tried me not to, I missed the opportunity to make over $300 or $400 that day on DoorDash. No cap. Okay, this stuff is real. They was trying to get my attention because they seen the movement. They know what's going on in Florida, and because of that, they're trying to. The people in New York, these high-end people in New York, and all these other people, they think, oh, well, he's back in New York, so we're gonna leave him alone. They try to be nice to me. I've seen who they are. I know who they are. I see how they play their cards. It's not working on me though, because I'm just doing what I gotta do. The thing is, they know I know certain people in Florida, so they very precautionary of what they do.
Or they fixed the gear shifter on my car that only I would notice. If I ever came out and said it, I look crazy. You see what I'm saying? They do things that you literally
I'm glad he said what I just said. You got to check your things. See, a lot of you be thinking you go to these sites, you go to these places, they're not watching you. They clearly watching me. And like I told a person a long time ago who was cool with me, I said, dude, your life ain't gonna be the same when you hang out with me. Because it's something about me that they've been wanting since I was a baby. And now that I'm a grown man and have influence and know certain things that the average person may not know at that particular time, it will behold you to keep your mouth quiet and not say certain things to everybody. Not everybody needs to know me, particularly the ladies too. It's not only the ladies, it's the fellas. And so he told something to them and they paid them off just like Judas. And they didn't know I know certain people and they had to move back of whatever campaign they was gonna do, it wasn't gonna work. That's the Lord's doing because the Lord can send people in your life to make them know you better leave this person alone. That's mine right there. He's one of me. He ain't with y'all. Get over it. This is very serious. The spiritual warfare is very serious. Let's go.
Literally can't explain to anybody without the general public completely dismissing it, saying, I would like some free half and half. They were listening to what we were saying. They went out and got it and they replaced it and they put it in the fridge when we didn't notice. They came into our residence.
How many of you ever had a situation that you needed something and then you look in your pocket? True story. I did not know I had $100 in my pocket. They literally put the $100 in my pocket. I did not know. And I was like, wait a minute. I know I didn't have this $100. Where this comes from? They put it in my coat pocket, y'all. No cap. To say, hey, we still interested in you. We still interested in you. What's up? Man, you won't believe it. You don't think this is really real? This reality. This stuff is real.
No, you don't want free half and half. No, you don't want your doorknob fixed and your car like your car shifter fixed. You don't want that. These are things that they do to discredit people that they're doing it to. Another thing that a lot of people were saying was
charity. They have ways of knowing what you're doing before you even open your mouth. They have technology to where they could read your mind out in the street. What do you think Tesla and Google and all of them got going on? They know who you are. You can't run from who you are. You just can't be in fear because they want you to be in fear. They want you to stop doing what you're supposed to do. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you stop doing what you're supposed to do, the Most High is going to allow them to even do more worse to you. This is why you got to keep speaking that truth. That's like when Christ was walking and he was fasting. The Debo knew he was fasting and he was trying to convince him to go against the Most High, his Father. They're trying to get me to go against what I know to be true. You can't stop them. You can't stop them from knowing who you are. They know who you are more than you know who you are. These Ibaracis and all these other people know who you are before you know who you are, who you're supposed to be. That's biblical and actual facts. Let's go.
If you signed an NDA, why are you saying it now? One, because so many people are coming out and saying it. Two, because I didn't really break the NDA. I didn't really say where we were. I didn't really say who was there. I didn't really say what happened there. So I didn't really break it. They can't really do anything to me about that. And I'm pretty sure there's a statute of limitations, and it was quite a while ago. So I'm pretty sure I'm good. Fingers crossed I'm good. But a lot of people were trying to discredit it by saying, well, you signed the NDA, but you're talking about it publicly. That doesn't make sense. Kick rocks. One of the main things that people were saying is like, where's the proof? Where's the proof? What was the top comment? It was, I'll take this never happened for 500 because people saw somebody comment that one time, like as if you're answering like a Jeopardy thing, and it got like a top comment, and people aren't funny. So they just copy top comments that they've seen in the past to try to get a little bit of recognition. But people are just saying things like, I don't have proof, I don't have any of this. Why didn't I save any of the stuff? Why didn't I save the invite? I bet you're going to be sitting here waiting for excuses about why I didn't save any of it. But I did. I have it. I have the letter exactly how I described.
Y'all see that letter? Y'all see that letter? You're saying he lying. That you can't get that. What kind? You think you see that card? That's a card. That card is cost a lot of money. That card costs a lot of money. He has, and he has the crystal cross. He has the crystal cross. Let me rewind it, because you're saying he lying. He got the invitation right there, sealed. Look.
I don't have proof. I don't have any of this. Why didn't I save any of the stuff? Why didn't I save the invite? I bet you're going to be sitting here waiting for excuses about why I didn't save any of it. But I did.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see the Bohemian thing? The Eagle Bohemian? Y'all see that cross thing? Actual real jewelry. I don't know how much it costs. That's the invitation. That's how they invite you. Yep. He's showing the proof. Let's go.
I have it. I have the letter exactly how I described it. All extravagant and weird. It's a bizarre letter. I'll show it to you guys after. I'll put it at the end of this video. Like, it's weird and bizarre. I'll pull it out a little bit for you right here. Gold letter.
Yep.
The future of your
gold letter. Because they believe in gold and sulfur. Okay. They use to worship idols with gold and sulfur. Waiting for this to go through. Hold on 1 second, because I got my phone on its side. 1 second. Here we go.
Like, this is it. And you could see the weirdest part about it is, like, it says, like, sincerely, but then has, like, holes punched in it and has, like, a medallion hanging from it, like, in gold letters. And it goes, like, you're invited on the front. It's, like, this whole extravagant thing. And it has, like, a wax covering. It says,
y'all can't say he lying. Y'all can't say he lying. He's showing the evidence. He's showing the evidence. He's showing proof. Let's go.
Wouldn't throw away. Of course I wouldn't throw it away. All you had to do was ask and I would show it to you. I just don't, I'm not sure what else you guys need to believe it. Like, I gave you the most detailed account that I possibly could. I, like, really tried to make it as detailed as I possibly could for you. I uploaded it as much as I could. Nobody cared. But then when people with bigger names than me started saying the same things, now you guys say I'm copying them or riding the wave. Check the receipts. I uploaded this before any of them. I released this before any of them. I think I covered everything that I could with this. If you guys want a way more fully detailed next part of this, that's, like, really about just what they were doing to me that week, I'll drop that too. You just gotta, like, let me know in the comments, because I'm not gonna waste my time doing it if you guys don't care. It seems like the internet only has a 2-day attention span. They're probably not gonna care at all and forget it.
He's right about that. The majority of the people will have a 2-day attention span, and they will move on to something else. It is what it is. That's the times we in, for the most part.
About this in 2 days. So you guys got to really let me know on this video if you guys want me to further explain the week after the party. Right now, I'm going to cut to a much better close-up on this so you guys could actually see the details on it. It's really bizarre. It's really freaky. I thought it was super cool at the time, but I don't think it's that cool now. I kind of keep it as for this. I keep it for this. So this is the invitation. Here's the proof. I'm going to let you guys get the closest look that you possibly can.
Y'all see the Horus eye? Y'all see the Horus eye? The Egyptian Horus eye? Do y'all see the Egyptian Horus eye? Look at the Egyptian Horus eye, y'all. It's not a game. The Egyptian Horus eye. And the thing is the seal. That means his name was sealed to go against his belief. You're going to hear the whole video when we get to it.
On it. It came in this very extravagant thing, very extravagant gold envelope. And then this says join us on the front. This was really weird. I'm going to show you guys the outside first before I show you the inside. It had this. Is it focused?
It's having a hard time focusing. It's focused now, but it goes
Okay,
in and out.
that's
all the
fine.
time. Okay.
It has this little stamp on it has like a tree on it that was like a wax stamp.
The book of Genesis. The book of Genesis. They have the book of Genesis when the Debo and Eve and Adam made a deal to go against the Most High. Made a deal to be the tree of life, which is sin. Let's go. This is sin right here that he's talking about.
Very weird. Join us. And then this is the inside of it. So as you could see, is it focus good?
It is now.
Okay. I'm just going to let you guys give that a read. Date, place.
You see that? Y'all see that very clear? It says your talents have been noted, meaning we've been watching you. Your name has been endorsed. Woo! Your name has been endorsed. All the dreams you're chasing are a night away through the seventh heaven. No, through the seventh hell. Through the seventh hell. And that's the gates of the Horus, the gates to hell. Oh my goodness, y'all don't realize how deviant, how this really worked. And they've been watching his YouTube channel for a minute. Date August 31st, 2016, the numerology, 9 p.m., which is actually the hour time, not a minute late. He can't be a minute late. He had to be there 15 minutes before the time. Oh my goodness, y'all seeing it in real time. Let's go.
Cursive. You guys could see all of it. See what they wrote at the bottom. What is it? Your talents have been noted. Your name has been endorsed. All the dreams you're chasing are a night away through the seventh heaven. But this is the weirdest part, is that it says sincerely, but then it has like 4 holes punched in this gold chain. To this Get it up here. So that's the weirdest part.
Yep. All right. That's pretty much it about that. Let's see what's going on in the comment section. We're going to get to the other one. Hold on. We're going to get to the other one. I saw a super chat. I want to read it. And Joey, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. He also sent a super chat. He said, Shalom, Ark, Rollo, and family. Much love to all of Yisrael. Absolutely. I see we got Jacqueline in the house, Charity in the house. How you ladies doing? Okay, we got my brother Zash in the building. Yep, the Richard Hour. Okay, so let's get to the one he took down. I can't do TikTok because I don't have a TikTok account. And I am not going to go to TikTok and bring it to YouTube. I have the content of the person who has the video of his that he took down off of YouTube. We're going to get to that video right now. Okay? If you're supporting the stream, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. If you're supporting the Cash App as well, appreciate the support, y'all. I really do. Okay, so let me see. Where's it at? We're almost there. And I will have the panel open if you want to come on and ask me questions. You have any questions you want to ask me, we could have the conversation. I could tell you how you've been followed and stuff like that. If they have their eyes on you, I'm going to give y'all the blueprint. If you come to the panel, if you come on the panel, you want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? I will have the panel open available to you. All right. Let me find it right now. Okay, I got the brothers channel. Y'all will see it yourself on the screen. Okay, shout out to this YouTuber. Y'all go check out his channel. He got over 1 million subscribers. So he talks about this often. All right. So let's get to it. This is needed. I don't know what more evidence do you guys and ladies need. The Most High stirred me to this video. He said you need to talk about it, and that's what I'm doing right now. All right. Let's get to it. Y'all might be familiar with this YouTuber. He got over 1 million subscribers. His name is Otto Fikitsi, if I'm saying it correctly. I've seen him before. I heard about him a little bit in this space because people do be knowing about comedians and low tier, what they consider low tier Hollywood stars. Okay, and I was once a C-lister in the sports industry. Okay, so this guy looks very familiar to me. All right, let's play the clip.
Creator that moved out to California with hopes and aspirations of making it big, only to run into the Illuminati. His story is crazy, and we're about to listen to it now. Let's go.
So this story is the reason I stopped making content for 5 years. You guys remember when all those Vine stars and skit Instagrammers moved to LA in like 2015-ish?
The skit and the Instagrammers that moved to LA. That's a talking point I've been saying for a long time. A lot of these skits, they do like that. Martha Messer just said that on my live stream or behind the scenes. We talked about it where he made mention of it. Yeah, he did make mention of it on the live we did yesterday. That the skit that they promoted it. I told y'all it's $1 trillion business. I have the Skit Police channel. Go subscribe to that channel. Go subscribe. One of the moderators put the Skit Police channel in the chat so that everybody can go subscribe over there to that channel. You're going to want to tune into that channel because I got some other clips. The Skit Police is a multi-trillion-dollar business right now, making more money than most of the celebrities. Let's go.
So I wasn't a huge creator at the time, but I was there and around it all as all of that stuff was happening. I moved from Chicago to LA 3 weeks after high school with like $2,000 in my pocket.
He moved to LA from Chicago with $2,000 in his pocket. You know, I moved to Florida the first go around with $200 in my pocket. Interesting. Let's go.
That I saved up working at Steak and Shake with this other aspiring creator named David. I was much more into editing and being behind the camera.
You know who David is? It's another content creator named David who went through the door. The guy's going to mention his name. I already saw the clip. I'm just breaking it down with y'all. I already saw the clip. He's going to mention who the YouTuber is that went through the door that invited him. Okay? He didn't say the YouTuber's name. These guys that has a big following, they all know each other for the most part, okay?
At that time, and he was much more into Vine and vlogs and being on camera. That time of our lives was absolutely crazy. Everybody was broke, posting anything we could onto YouTube to get some attention. I happened to get a spot at
They will post anything they was broke, they will post anything to get views. And that's how most content creators are. They're not creating content. They will do anything, say anything to get the views so they could get the money to get into these places because LA is very expensive. LA is very expensive, especially you want to move in those condominium places. You gotta have 4 or 5 G's. And being in the site respectfully ain't gonna get you to these luxury places. Let's hear what he has to say, though. Let's go.
The now notorious 1600 Vine apartments. And David got a spot a little bit closer to USC. Everyone was collaborating with everyone, and it was the era of clickbait YouTube. And to be honest, it was extremely fun for the first few months.
It was extremely fun because you was under a delusion, not knowing that you was in a place, moving from Chicago to LA, you was in a place in the horizontal eyes. And they know you when you was in Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised that they made a way for you to be going to LA. Because at that time in 2015, 2016, LA, a lot of YouTubers moved to LA from Chicago. Now, Chicago Beats shared a thing with me in Newbury that a lot of people from Chicago is moving to Florida. We'll talk about that another time. Florida ain't into all that stuff except Miami for the most part. Let's go.
Hollywood started to notice that influencers were the next big thing and that the landscape of the industry was changing. And we started to get invited to more exclusive parties and events where it seemed as if old Hollywood was almost grooming new Hollywood. And there was rumors of this one gathering that was—
That's correct. Old Hollywood is done away with. You, the YouTubers, are the new Hollywood. I said this on Rex the Bad Guys platform. As a content creator, they watching you. They watching you, especially if you have influence. They watching you, and they will knock on your door. People didn't believe me at the time. Oh, we're just doing YouTube. Ain't no famous people. Ain't no multi-millionaire, billionaire watching my platform. Or you're changing your mind now about that, huh? You thought I was crazy because you remember I was a C-lister. People didn't know that at the time.
Was happening on a monthly basis, where it seemed like anybody that got invited saw a massive jump in their numbers, secured huge brand deals right after attending. But apparently this gathering worked on a buddy system. Someone had to vouch for you and bring you as a guest. And by blind luck, me and David ended up getting invited. Some talent—
No, they've been had you on the list. Ain't no surprising. They've been had you on the list. I had senators send me stuff. And my neighbors told me they never got a letter from a senator. And they vote. They vote, you know, Ibarasi or conservative. And they never got an invite from a senator. I got many invites from a senator. I don't have it no more. I shredded it. If they was to send me something again, I could show you proof. The guy that stayed with me at the time to get him back on his feet, he used to think I was an agent because he was wondering why is the senators sending me letters, sending me an invite. Because, like I told him, they wanted me to go through the door for a long time. That's why.
talent agent saw me and David shoot a silly skit at a random party. He didn't invite us that second. He just told us that he saw something special in us and took our contact information. And listen, people do that all the time in LA, but this guy had a different feel to him. He wasn't trying to convince us he had connections or hype himself up like everybody else does. He was just super calm and had a sharp way of speaking that demanded respect. He was extremely brief, and after getting our numbers, he just said, "Look out for the invite," and walked away. And this is where it gets weird. I never gave this guy my address. I only gave him my number, but I ended up getting an invite.
They know your telephone number. They know your address. They have access to your background. They know everybody. This is why I told you. They know who you are before you know who you are. They know who you are before you know who you are. Sometimes your family members could be in on it. Sometimes you could be in a relationship with somebody that could be in on it. Sometimes it could be people you know could be in on it. Because if you have value and you bring resourceful and turn people away from the Lord, they'll make you a millionaire within 12 hours. So that's why this thing is all a skit. Being at these places, renting out these places is all a skit, y'all. Because the only way they'll try to keep you is if they'll do certain things for you to go against the Most High. This is what he's saying. Let's go.
Invitation by letter. And at the time, I thought that that was so cool. But in retrospect, as an adult looking back at it, that alone was a huge violation of privacy and a major red flag. But at the time, when I tell you I was absolutely buzzing with excitement. When I got it, the letter was so extravagant and detailed. It was gold with black and red lettering that read something like, "Your talents have been noted, your name has been endorsed, and I'll never forget this part. The dreams you've been chasing are a night away through the seventh heaven." And the address was a beautiful home in Laurel Canyon that was set to happen that weekend.
Laurel Canyon is a multi-billion-dollar place. You cannot even drive in that area. Just like certain places in Vegas, they tag your plates. If you're not doing any delivery, you don't know nobody there, they will apprehend you. Your family don't even know that you've been apprehended. They have their own police force. Okay? The place he's talking about, you just can't drive through there. You could say whatever you want. Ask anybody that's in LA if they drive through there and they don't know nobody, see what happens. That's like Area 51 type shit. Let's go.
It also noted to not be a minute late and not to expect to leave before midnight. And at the time, it felt like the Willy Wonka golden ticket. And the excitement doubled when I got a text from David at the same time, in all caps saying, "Did you get one too?" I felt like our lives were about to change. And I was right. David blew up after this party, and I had to go into hiding. I felt like our lives were about to change.
David blew up because he already went through the door. He already went through the door. The David, the YouTuber, look at the guy's face. He know who it is. He know who it is. I can't say he went through the door. He know who it is, though. He know who the YouTuber is. They probably sent him invites in Atlanta or told him to go to Houston. We got this black-white party we want you to go to. He could be having a wife and kids. They don't care if you got a family. They want you to go somewhere. This is crazy, man. Let's go.
And I was right. David blew up after this party, and I had to go into hiding. When
It makes me wonder if he's talking about David Dobrik.
I tell you I was on
David Dobrik. Woo! He said the name. He said the name, y'all. I haven't looked this person up. He said the name. He said it with a cliche. He know who the hell it is. Did you get invited? Did you go through the door? I'm just asking.
Cloud9 leading up to that party I needed. I was so young and naive and delusionally optimistic. I truly believed that I was going to go to this party and leave rich, because it literally seemed like that was happening to the creators around me that attended. I was hyped. I've never been a braggy person, but when you're young and excited, you get consumed by good news and want to talk to your friends and peers about it. So everybody that I chatted with who I knew was a content creator and was in the know about this party, I couldn't help but to tell. And all the feedback was positive and along the lines of, let me know how it goes, or can you try to get me into the next one? And even some from bigger creators saying, I'll see you there, with like a little smirk on their face, like they were pumped for it.
Why did he put Shaq's face in there? We know Shaq is the 36-degree Mason. Shaq is in on it. He's putting potential people that he knows that was there. You always got to pay attention to the code, y'all. Let's go.
Except for one conversation with a creator that most of you probably know. This creator is an extremely positive guy, and he's one of the most wholesome, bubbly, genuine guys I met out there. And when I told him the good news, he looked at me like I told him a tsunami was headed towards the building. The usual joy that this man brought to every conversation turned into real fear and concern, and he made me leave the lobby and come up to his apartment before explaining anything to me. Like he was scared that somebody was going to overhear our conversation. When we got up to his apartment, he was just pacing, like he had no idea how to start this conversation. But when he finally spoke up, all he said was, "Listen, Doug, I know you're excited, but I'm begging you, please do not go. That man is not who you think he is." He was being so frantic, and I could see tears welling up in this guy's eyes.
Of course, because that was the Lord sending you a message through that person. And of course, he was being naive. He didn't believe the person, and he decided to see for himself. You can see it even in his face, even though he's speaking on it. You can see it in his face. Let's go.
But I was young and I thought that I knew everything. I didn't even think the talent agent that sent us the invite was important. I was interested in the connections, and I didn't really care if the talent agent was shady or if his intention was to sign me to a bad deal. I thought I'd just say no to any bad contract that he tried to send me, but still get to reap all the benefits of the party. So I tried to pry a little bit and ask follow-up questions, but all he gave me was, "I have a friend who went and he hasn't been the same since he didn't cooperate. I don't know what he saw or what they did to him, but Doug, I do not want to see that happen to you. I don't know what he saw or what they did to him, but Doug, I do not want to see that happen to you." I start reassuring him that they won't make me do anything that I don't want to do.
You didn't listen to him, so you decided to go. And watch what happens. Let's go.
Even drink, let alone take any party favors. So peer pressure isn't much of an issue for me. I make up a lie to get out of the situation because, to be honest, I selfishly wanted to stay excited about this party. And I really didn't want to hear anything negative about it. So I jokingly told him that I'd text him when I got home and that I had to leave to edit some videos tonight. What I was really doing was calling my dad to beg him for $100 to buy.
Joey, you say you've been over there before to the place he's been to. So let me ask you this question. Since you've been over to Lower Cannon, did they tag your plates? Did you see anything unusual? Did you deem to be followed because you didn't know nobody there? Because you got to remember, certain places you're not allowed to go if you don't know somebody. They will tag your plates and they will follow you until you leave that place. And they know who you are for the most part. That's why I asked you this question. I asked you this question because this stuff is real. I don't go to certain places they go to. Even if they invite me, I'm not going. No way. I don't want to be part of that stuff.
a rental suit. Mind you, we were all still poor, and I was living in an apartment that I could barely afford. My dad reluctantly sent me the money, and I immediately texted David to pick me up tomorrow at 5 p.m. so we could both get our suits before the party and grab food before we head to the party at 11. When David picked me up the next day, he was so excited and in such a great mood that I had to hide my concerns from him, at least while we were shopping for the rental suits. I had to manufacture excitement because David always has his camera out, and I wouldn't just be spoiling the mood, I would be ruining the content that he was trying to record. So
That sound like David Dobrik, always having his camera out, bro. I wonder if he's talking.
You know he's talking about him. You know he's talking about him. You too confident of saying the name. You saying the name on YouTube. I'm not saying the name. You saying the name. Let's continue hearing this message.
About him for real.
he was trying to record. So I went along with it throughout the shopping process. Our plan was to drop his car off at my apartment, walk to the In-N-Out Burger on Sunset Boulevard, eat, and then change into our suits in the bathroom and hop into the Uber. So we didn't smell like burgers. When we finally sat down to eat, I took that opportunity to bring up the warning that my friend gave me the day before in his apartment. I told him everything that he said to me and how scared he looked when he said it, and that I was feeling a little bit worried about going to this party. David cut me off before I even got to finish my sentence and firmly said we're going, and then went on a rant about how my friend is a jealous.
You see why I said, what did I say earlier? Let's see if y'all remember. What did I say earlier not to do? What did I say earlier not to do? And he did the cardinal sin. He did the cardinal sin. He did the cardinal sin of what somebody told him. What did I say earlier not to do and what he did? This is why I say you can't tell these people you don't know who they are. They could be working for these people and you telling them everything, and they could use it against you. And the guy that mentioned the YouTuber name already went through the door. He invited you. He had your name. He had your name so he could get paid off of you. You was his handler, the YouTuber we speaking of. You was that YouTuber's, he was your handler. You do have YouTube handlers out here. Let's go.
This cloud chaser, and that he's just salty that his content.
He already went through the door. You were supposed to go through the sixth door with him, and he's supposed to do certain things to you on camera. That's what's supposed to happen. Let's go.
Isn't good enough and would never be invited to something like this. He said it in a half serious, half joking tone like he always does when he wants to get his way. Then he finished off by guilting me and saying, "Doug, don't ruin this opportunity for us. Please just get through this party for me." I'd never heard anybody talk about my friend that way, but I'd known David for so much longer, so I trusted his judgment. So I nodded my head and called the Uber. We changed in the bathrooms and hopped into the Uber, and David starts recording again. So I have to pretend to be excited again. But once we got off the side streets and started driving,
he's recording you. They told him to record you. That was your handler. He was your handler. The guy that warned you was the message of the Most High. You did not listen. You was young, naive. You was going through financial situation, and you wanted to go all the way in. There's consequences that comes with this. Let's go.
Up Laurel Canyon, I started getting anxious and internally panicking. If you're not familiar with Laurel Canyon, it's filled with beautiful homes, but at night it's extremely dark and borderline freaky, especially when you consider all the history with the Manson murders in that area. Part of me feels like we're dropping ourselves off into a setup, but once we arrive,
the Manson murders in that area, you know about this and you still wanted to go, right? Of course they know about that because, you know, those people was part of certain things. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's go.
All of my worries get washed away. We pull into the driveway and this house is beautiful and extravagant. And everyone waiting in line to walk in is smiling.
Just like how the Depot was beautiful and handsome and had everything that Eve and Adam decided to agree with and not do the work of the Most High. So that's nothing new. Of course their homes is going to be extravagant. Yet it's filthy and it's dirty and nasty inside. Let's go.
Smiling and laughing and friendly. So I get excited again. At the door, they take our phones and have us sign an NDA, which isn't uncommon in house parties like this in LA. And they give.
You hear that? That is such a common occurrence. Take your phone, make you sign an NDA. California isn't even real. It's not a real place.
Common in house parties like this in LA. And they give us a mask and a name tag with funny aliases. My mask looked like a bear and David's looked like a bird. My alias was Stardust, which David got a crack out of, and his was Banshee. We enter what you could call like the lobby of the house, and as we're walking in, the apparent host of the party starts giving a speech. This man is very eccentric and outspoken, and he's got the cadence of a late night show host, and I spot the agent that invited us standing right behind him. The speech was basically just encouraging everybody to have fun and explaining the itinerary of the night. Apparently this was a themed room party, and all of the guests were instructed to move to the next room whenever the grandfather clock chimed. He wrapped up his speech with some cheeky joke, and then one line that still irks me to this day. He said, "Have fun now. Our descent starts at midnight." I tried to give David the eyes that I didn't like where this party was going. This type of behavior from people that I saw as adults made me extremely uncomfortable. The moment the host wrapped up his speech, a couple of workers came out of the doorway. They were holding a couple sets of long poles. All of a sudden, music started playing, and everybody seemed like they knew what was going on. So
Of course they knew what was going on because they invited you and whoever else to do the rituals. They bubble you up. They get you fed up and make you feel good with the fake flattery, just like how Pastor Dow did to Rufus. Okay, let's go.
just went along with it. So I guess these parties start off with a big game of limbo. It's funny seeing people dressed so nicely playing a silly child's game, but it's even weirder seeing A-list celebrities being so excited to play because everybody had masks on, but when somebody that you grew up watching in movies walks by you with a quarter of their face covered, you still know it's them. I was amazed with how inviting and willing to introduce themselves these people were. I was expecting at least an undertone of uppityness in it, but it seemed like everybody was involving everybody in conversation, and they were frequently introducing themselves to me with their alias, of course. The only thing weird about it was something that I didn't notice until the third person did it. When they shook my hand, they pressed their thumb into the soft part between my thumb and my pointer finger, and I only recognized the...
When they do that, that means they are connected with you. You one of them. They try to connect you. Get ready. When they do a handshake like that, they ready to get it on with you. That's what that means. They ready to get it on with you. Either you're going to off them or they're going to, you know what, to you. Okay? Let's go.
Pattern because the third guy gave me a big smile and said, "This must be your first time here." In retrospect, this should have alarmed me, but it seemed like they got friendlier when they realized that it was my first time here. So I didn't really think anything of it. But before I got to ask any follow-up questions about this odd handshake, the first grandfather clock chime went off and everybody excitedly rushed into the second room. When I finally got in there, I was taken aback by the dramatic decor change. Everything in this room was different shades of blue. The music was romantic and all the furniture was cabana beds and
I'm laughing serious. The Blue Room. Yeah, they're gonna play that music you never heard. In all seriousness, they play music you never heard before. Music that's not even out in the world. Okay? They're not gonna play what you think they're playing, that you normally hear on radio or in the streets. Okay? They playing that music of other music. You get what I'm saying? To get you comfortable. They have a different bracket. Let's go.
Love seats. I stood there for a second trying to realize what was different, but I couldn't put my finger on it until some girl walked by and caressed my shoulder in a really flirty manner. The decor changed, but the way everybody was...
Do you think it was a woman? It could be a woman. It may not be a woman. I'm just saying it may not be a woman. It could be. He's saying it's a woman. It may not be. Okay? Some of them be not women. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's what he's saying. Let's go with it.
Acting was drastically different. Before, everybody seemed to be outgoing and inviting and friendly. But the second they stepped foot into this room, they became touchy, flirty, and suggestive. I was only 19 at the time, so this type of behavior from people that I saw as adults made me extremely uncomfortable. Especially when I saw that the cabana beds had curtains that you could close for privacy. And I realized that these people weren't just being suggestive, they meant it. I tried to give David the eyes that I didn't like where this party was going, but he seemed to be really enjoying the female attention, so I was on my own. I basically stayed in...
It's all a facade. It's all a facade. You wanted to see it, the Most High allowed you to see it, and you got very worried. You should have listened to that man. You thought this person you knew or supposedly knew had you all ready. Let's go.
Perpetual motion and walked laps until the next chime went off. So I didn't have to sit next to anybody for too long and let them get too comfortable. The clock finally went off and everybody rushed to the next room immediately. The weirdest part was the people that were in the private sections didn't even bother redressing except for the mask. I was in no rush to get to the next room, but I could see into it over the crowd of everybody's head. The walls were bright orange, but the smells that were wafting in from that room were amazing. And when I finally got in there,
The bright orange is the food. The food of food. Unlawful food, and then drinking somebody else's blood and drinking other things that you cannot even imagine and eating things that's unimaginary. The smell is to throw you off. Okay, that's the orange room. Let's go. Like Halloween, get it? Halloween.
it was like the Hogwarts feast. It was table after table of the most delicious spreads I've ever seen. There was full tables for seafood, full tables for meats, full tables of sushi, and an entire wall of spirits. I almost started enjoying myself again until I saw the way these people were treating this food. They were
Hold on, y'all. Real quick, I want y'all to
Before he say what he gonna say, you enjoy it. You enjoy it because they almost had your spirit. They that's how they get your spirit in that orange room from all those things they have in there. That's how they get your spirit. Look at this. This is what they do. This is the sixth law of sins. Glutif is a big sin, y'all. It's a big sin, glutif. Let's continue.
take into account. He called alcohol spirits. There's a reason they call alcohol spirits. Think about that.
the way these people were treating this food. They were disrespectfully biting chunks out of delicious prime rib roasts. They were just shoving copious amounts of high-grade sashimi into their mouths and eating caviar like it was cereal. The way that they were just grabbing with their hands and just spitting out things that they didn't like onto the floor ruined my appetite. At this point, I wanted nothing to do with these people. So I went up to the only familiar face in the room. The agent that invited me was the only other person not eating. So I approached him and lifted up my mask so he'd recognize me, considering we'd only met one time. Before I even got out my greeting or got my mask halfway off my face, he abruptly pressed my mask back into place and sharply said, "Mask stay on till the 6th rule." He did it in a way that seemed like I was embarrassing him for not knowing the rules. So to ease the tension, I jokingly replied, "So we're only halfway there, huh?" He didn't laugh or make eye contact. He just dismissively replied, "I encourage you to engage in the festivities. A slow drip is better than a flood." He started to walk towards the door as the clock chimed for the next room, like he knew it was about to go off. I didn't like that interaction at all. He's the one that invited me here, and he seemed to have no interest in talking to me. I just kept going over what he said the entire time while we were in the next room. This room was yellow and basically just a casino. I wanted to talk to David privately and let him know that I wanted to leave, but he seemed to just be caught up in the momentum of the party. Plus, there was a roulette table in the room, and David's freakishly good at roulette. So at this point, the winning streak that he's building is the center point of the party. I can't fully focus on what the agent said to me because I have to pretend to be excited about David's winning streak.
And the yellow room is gambling, okay, sports, and that's where they have the money vote at, okay? Unlimited money, unlimited cash, and they keep tabs on you. And they teach you how to win money, okay? To keep your money going up. In a wicked way, though. In a wicked way. Let's go.
Fake casino where you're not actually winning money. And like clockwork, the chime goes off. The entire party starts rushing to the next room again, and the vibe changes dramatically. I'm the last person to walk into the bright red room. This room didn't seem to have a specific activity like the others. It was just empty and bright red, and everybody was whispering to each other. For a split second, I thought it might be a big game of telephone or something silly like that. But as I started walking through and brushing shoulders with these people and hearing what they were saying to each other, I started questioning everything. The same people that I saw laughing and celebrating and eating together were whispering the most heinous, offensive comments directly to each other. I mean, things that you wouldn't even say behind your friend's back, they were saying it to their face. I'm talking friendship-ending secrets and personal opinions about each other, laced with envy and jealousy. I hurried to a quiet corner because I was sick of hearing everybody's dirty laundry after walking around for a minute and a half. And it all clicked. I knew exactly what this party was. I see the host ask the first person in line a question before having them repeat something that he said. When I tell you I am done with this party, I'm absolutely not doing that. all the dots start connecting in my head while everybody's being horrible to each other around me. I'm trying to recap the whole night and remember the order of each room to solidify my suspicions, but the chime for the next room goes off. This time, everybody gets eerily quiet and calm, like they got all of their venom out. The host of the party announces for all of the newcomers to come to the front. All of the newcomers to come to the front. Now, listen to this. The attendees form a single file line in front of the next room's door. There's about 10 other newcomers in front of me and David, and the agent that invited us is standing to the left of the door, and the host of the party is standing to the right. The host has a pile of books on the table next to him. I see the host ask the first person in line a question and then grab a book based on his answer. He would present the book to the person and place a diamond-shaped metal symbol on top of it before having them repeat something that he said. Then he'd take their mask off and let them enter the next room. I couldn't make out exactly what he was doing until there was only 2 people ahead of me in line. The books were Bibles, Qurans, Torahs, and so on. He would the books were Bible, Quran, and Torah. You heard that? The books were Bible, Quran, and Torah. Let's rewind that again. Book based on his answer. He would present the book to the person and place a diamond-shaped metal symbol on top of it before having them repeat something that he said. Then he'd take their mask off and let them enter the next room. I couldn't make out exactly what he was doing until there was only 2 people ahead of me in line. The books were Bibles, Qurans, Torahs, and so on. He would ask the person, "And which one is yours?" Whichever they chose, he'd grab it and place the metal symbol on top of it. He'd have you put your hand on top of the metal symbol and then repeat, "I am my own God. I bow to nobody but myself." When I tell you, did you hear that? Let's rewind it. Let's rewind what he just said. The first person in line a question and then grab a book based on his answer. He would present the book to the person and place a diamond-shaped metal symbol on top of it before having them repeat something that he said. Then he'd take their mask off and let them enter the next room. I couldn't make out exactly what he was doing until there was only 2 people ahead of me in line. The books were Bibles, Qurans, Torahs, and so on. He would ask the person, "And which one is yours?" Whichever they chose, he'd grab it and place the metal symbol on top of it. He'd have you put your hand on top of the metal symbol and then repeat, "I am my own God. I bow to nobody but myself." I am my own God. I bow to nobody but myself. That's what Paulie Pastor Dow did when he went on his trip a month ago to another country. Secretly did that. And now we're seeing who he really is. So whatever you believe in, they tell you to say that on the book that you believe in. And the diamond is the Egyptian pyramid. And then you sign your name in blood when you press on it. You disown your belief. And now you work for the Debo forever, ever, forever, ever. That's how they go about it. So when you see your mayors and other politicians, they denounce the Most High. They telling you on TV they believe in the Most High. They don't believe in the Most High and Christ. Let's go. Myself. When I tell you I am done with this party, and I whip my head around and I tell David I am absolutely not doing that. David whispered back in a joking tone like he always does. "Dude, it's just a party. Who cares? I'll see you in the next room." And he skipped me in line to show me that he'd do it first to make me feel more comfortable. He went through with it and giggled his way into the next room. It was my turn, so I tried to play it cool and whisper to the host, "Do you mind if I skip this part? It's making me a little bit uncomfortable." I thought he'd subtly break character and reassure me that this is just a party theme and it's all good. Instead, he whispered back to me in a really kind tone, "Of course, man, don't worry about it. Just take your mask off and turn around." I was relieved for about a split second before the agent that invited me here grabbed my arm and started guiding me towards the exit. And I see that everybody that was behind me in line is staring at me straight-faced. I look back at the host and he's standing up and loudly shouts like he's starting a chant. The price was not paid. And then everybody in line that was staring at me chants in unison like they knew exactly what to do. "Remove the profane." And they repeat it over and over until I'm through the exit door. "The price was not paid. Remove the profane. The price was not paid. Remove the profane." So the agent just walks me to the closest door. He doesn't even walk me to the front of the party and out the front door. He just puts me out into the backyard. It's 4 a.m. My friend's still inside. I don't have my phone. So I decide to walk around the right side of the house because that's where all of the party attendees were kind of headed. Let me see if I can. Now, he decides to walk around to see what's going on. And what you're about to hear is what a lot of people have been saying for a long time will be going on in these parties. These secret parties, okay? And he made a mistake again. You're going to hear the mistake he made.
that could have cost him in somebody else's life. We are 15 minutes into the video. We got about 20 more minutes. Let's go. 20 more minutes of this video.
Peek in and maybe flag down David to let him know I got kicked out. And there's some windows to the next room. But of course, these windows are like big church stained glass windows. And you can't really see through stained glass windows like the colored ones. But if you go really, really close and you look through the white parts, you could kind of see clearly what is on the inside. And this room is like a bizarre church replica without all of the seating. It's just a big church-like room. And all of the people that were in there had their masks off. And it was like a big circle and almost looked like an initiation. And all of these celebrities are standing around in a circle around the other 9 new people. It was 10 excluding me, and there was big TV grade cameras recording, and it looked like the group of celebrities and everybody else that was there was kind of cheering them on. But then there was clearly people in there that were much more serious and kind of threatening, and the 10 new people were in the middle of this room being forced to do horrible things that I wish I could unsee. And the new people clearly didn't want to do these things. They were being forced to do these things. And they were clearly recording it. And I see my friend being forced to do these horrible things in front of these people and in front of these cameras.
So this already goes into what I was questioning before in regards to content creators and being involved with this organization, this society, right?
I am one of the few that said that a lot of content creators is going to go into that society, that they're going to pick these people. They know who they are. They're going to invite them. A lot of you are starting to say it now. I've been saying it for a long time. I've been saying this to Ty City and many of the other space content creators who want to act like they was part of the industry. Some of them, they used to come to my platform, was part of the industry, okay? So they know exactly what be going on. They want to play this game. He knows what's going on too. Let's go.
Before we thought it was just some of the A-list celebrities or some of the up-and-coming celebrities, but no, they coming at the content creators too. This is wild, man. And this story, we're just halfway through. It just gets worse and worse.
And clearly recording it. And I see my friend being forced to do these horrible things in front of these people and in front of these cameras. I just start panicking.
They killed my dog.
It don't work like that. It don't work like that, God West. He know about it. He didn't go through the door. Because if he went through the door, he would have had 20 million subscribers. This guy was a C-lister in the industry, okay? Just like I was. At the same time, he ain't go through the door, because if he would have went through the door and took the oath, he would have had 20 or 30 million subscribers, okay? So we can't be false witness. They didn't go. This person knows about it. He knows about it too. He didn't go through that door and went through the camera thing. They know about certain things. Yes, they didn't go through the door. Because if they would have went through the door, they would not be talking about this. They would have had the camera. They would have had the recordings of them doing senseless things that they're going to do to Diddy and all these other people that's talking. You got to know the difference, God West. Got to know the difference. Let's go. Wait till this. Let me get this. All right, here we go.
To get out of here. So I start speed walking to the front of the house, and I'm thinking I need to get out of this gate. There's only one street. We're on Laurel Canyon, so it's either I go left and start running towards Studio City, or I go right and start running towards West Hollywood. I'm not about to go knock on other people's doors. I'm just trying to get back to civilization, and I'm trying to remember if we're closer to Studio City or if we're closer to West Hollywood. I don't even know. As I get to the front of the house, one of the employees is standing there, and he's standing in front of a car, and he has my phone. I'm not sure if he knows that I just saw everything, so I'm kind of standing there deer in headlights, but he just politely goes, "Here's your phone and here's your ride. Don't worry, the driver will take you home." So I take my phone and I sit in the car, and I'm trying to gauge to see if this driver has any malicious intent, but he doesn't seem to. And within the first 3 minutes, I know that they don't think I saw anything. They were just getting my stuff prepared and my car prepared to take me home, because they're under the impression that I didn't see anything too bad, and I got kicked out before any horrible things started happening to people inside of this party. So I get in the car and I'm checking my phone, and my phone is fully charged when I got here, so I don't know what they did, but my phone won't turn on. I have to sit through this 30-minute car ride. One of my best.
I told you they have control over everything you do. They had his phone turned off for a minute. They're capable of doing that. Your phone won't work until you get back to your house because of the area you at. This is why I tell y'all this stuff is real. This stuff is real. They had his phone turned off. They called the company. It could be late at night. They got through somebody that knows somebody and had his phone shut off so he won't record the area. We'll record the scenery. They know that. So when you go through the NDA, right, with these people, they have your phone shut off. And a lot of these women and men don't tell you this, what he's telling you. Your phone will be shut off for 24 hours before your phone could be charged. They could shut your phone off. They have more say than the people that's in political realms. This is how deep this thing is. How deep this rabbit hole is. Let's go.
Best friends is back at this party getting mistreated and recorded doing horrible things, and I can't tell anybody. So I get through this 30-minute horrible suspense-filled car ride thinking about all of the people that were so nice to me inside of this party, and the whole intent of this party was to butter me up to get me to do these horrible things. And when I finally get back to my apartment, I run upstairs, I plug my phone into the charger, and the first texts that come through are from my friend Joe. And I completely forgot that my friend Joe was coming to visit me. He was coming on a little mini vacation, and I was going to play tour guide and show him around the city. So now I'm thinking I only have like 4.5 hours to sleep before
His friend Joe was in the police academy. You're going to hear it from him. His friend Joe got in the police academy. Watch what happens though. Listen to this. This is what happens that he's going to slip up and say something he's not supposed to say to the person that was at the party. When you hear that part, you're going to hear what could potentially have happened to him and what happened to his friend Joe that was visiting him. This is why I say you got to keep your mouth shut. Sometimes you can't tell a person that is part of something and you tell them everything because they're going to use it against you. Let's go.
To go pick up my friend from the airport, and I still don't know if my other friend is okay. So I'm blowing up David's phone because he's still at this party, but I set a timer so I get to the airport to pick up my other friend. So I barely get any sleep. I drive to LAX to go pick up Joe, and I drive him back to my apartment. And when I'm coming back into my apartment, David's in the lobby, and he's talking to some other big creators, like bouncing video ideas. It's like 9:30, 10 a.m. at this point, so we're just kind of having coffee by the cafe and chatting. I tell Joe to go upstairs to my apartment and drop off his luggage, and I go ask David if I could talk to him really quick. I'm clearly very distressed, and he's being very jokey with me, and he doesn't seem like anything bad happened. And he's just kind of making fun of me for getting kicked out of the party. I'm just letting him talk for a little bit, and I finally tell him I was looking in through the next window. I saw what they made him do, and I was just asking him if he's okay. And the second I said that, he immediately switched on me, and he started damn near cussing me out and saying friendship-ending things, and his eyes turned from happy and giddy to filled with almost fear and a little bit of betrayal. When he stormed off, he pulled out his phone, and he was calling somebody as if he was like reporting something back to them. I immediately...
Of course he recorded back to them because you told him what you saw and he told them what you told them. And that's when they came to your house to make you know, don't effing play with us. Do you know who you're dealing with? Do you know who we really are? You could go to the cops, you could go to the mayor, you could go to anybody. Nobody's gonna believe your message. We own them too. They work for the Debo. We own them. They come to the events. They come to the parties. So you could go to any of these people. We will make sure their payroll is stopped if they try to come up against us. You had no clue. You thought this person was your friend. That was your handler. You was young and naive. You was into things that you was not ready for, and you got the warning. Sometimes people don't want to hear the freaking warning. They want to see for themselves. And now you put not only yourself in danger, you put your friend in danger. Look at this guy's expression. Like he know what's going on. Let's go.
Start freaking out. I assume that he's telling me that I saw what they did. And now I have my friend upstairs who thinks he's just on vacation when I just saw hyper successful, rich people doing unspeakable acts, and they have all of the resources to come after me. They know where I live, and David isn't even on my side because the dirt that they have on him now. I have to pretend that everything's okay to Joe because he flew all the way out here for a vacation, and I don't even really know how bad the situation is. I don't even know how to tell him about everything that happened the night before. And I promised Joe that we were going to go to Runyon Canyon this morning. morning. So he goes and changes into hiking gear, and I drive him over to Runyon Canyon. We do the hike for a few hours, and when we come back and I check my mail, there's another letter from these people, and I take it to the bathroom because I don't even want Joe to see it. And it's a screenshot of the surveillance footage of me looking in through the window and a little handwritten note, just a reminder of the worst mistake you've ever made. Curiosity killed the cat. And I start freaking out. I know that David just betrayed me and told them that I saw, and now they have proof that I saw. Now I'm just a walking liability to them, and now they're threatening me, and that was the worst mistake that I've ever made, and insinuating that curiosity killed the cat. I'm the cat, but it's still not enough to tell Joe about what happened. So I just go on with this charade, and I'm just playing tourist, bringing my friend around the city. And the first day, nothing happened. And to this day, I firmly believe that the only reason they didn't do anything to me is because Joe was there with me that whole week, and he had just finished the police academy, and he was officially a police officer. So I think me being with him is the only thing that kept me safe, because they weren't willing to do anything to a police officer. And I knew for sure they were keeping an eye on me the next day, because Joe asked me the night before if I had half and half for our coffees the next morning, and I didn't have any half and half, and he just jokingly said, who has coffee and doesn't have half and half? It was a conversation in passing, it was a joke, and the next morning we woke up and there was a full half and half in my fridge. And the only reason I noticed that is because Joe said, thanks for running out early and grabbing half and half, you didn't have to do that. I was kidding. I didn't go and grab that half and half. I knew that somebody was not only listening, but entered my apartment that night while we were sleeping. And then they started to do these things that only I would notice. Things that if you told anybody, they would look at you like you were crazy. Each night that we came home and we were just winding down and watching TV, I would go to turn my TV on and the remote control wouldn't work. And I would check the batteries, and the batteries would be switched from positive to negative and negative to positive. Like they came into my house and just flipped my batteries. I know that my remote control worked the day before, and they just needed me to know that they were in my house and flipped my batteries, just to let me know that they were invading my privacy on a daily basis. And then it started escalating to when I would take Joe to lunch, or we would pop to the grocery store, or we would go to the movies, and we would come back to the car and my left blinker would be on. They would just open my car and put it down. And every time we would come back to the car, my left turning signal would be on. It happened like 6 times. How can I tell anybody that somebody broke into my car and turned my left signal down? It's something that only I would notice. And I can't tell Joe because I'm not trying to scare him. And it's also something that I don't even think he would take seriously. He would probably say, you probably hit it down when you were stepping out of the car. And then things started to pick up. They started to do very specific things to me that weren't just by chance. We came home one day and I locked the door behind me like I was doing every time because I was super, super paranoid. My apartment door lock just locked swiftly. My apartment door lock doesn't lock swiftly. I would have to like press into it and jiggle it and force it to lock. And it's been like that since I moved in. And it had this sharp little nub on the front that I would feel with my thumb every single day. And one of the days we came home and it just smoothly locked and the nub wasn't there. So they were letting me know that I can't even lock them out. But how do I tell anybody that they're doing this to me? Because they would just say the apartment was probably aware of it and changed it. And I still wasn't able to tell Joe because I would think that he would come to the same conclusion. But then the next day we go to the car to go to breakfast and we get into my old car that I've had for 5 or 6 years at the time. And I grab my
old car. Listen to this, because everybody talks about the new car. His old car. Listen to what he said, because I want people to know. Doesn't matter if you have an old car that doesn't have a GPS navigation system. They have everybody's keys to their car. Do you hear me? Loud and clear. If they're watching you and they want to make themselves known, this is what they do. Listen.
a gear shifter and I go to pull it into reverse and it smoothly goes from park to reverse. And my gear shifter doesn't smoothly go from park to reverse. You have to wiggle it in a certain way. You have to press the button with your thumb in a certain way to get it into reverse. I only know this because I drove this car every single day for 5 years, and this gear shifter is pretty much broken. It's an old car. And that morning I got into my car and it smoothly went from park to reverse, and the wooden finish on the gear shifter was different. Mine had scratches on it and this one was brand new. So they were telling me not only are they able to just break into my car and turn the left signal down, they're also willing to manipulate my car. Now,
and that's what happened when I had the vehicle I was renting out. The transmission and the gear clutch was not working. Okay? The Lord is my witness. Yeah. Let's go.
Now I know for sure Joe isn't safe either, and me not telling him these things puts him into danger because I'm driving him around in this car. And if they could change my gear shifter, why wouldn't they be able to cut my brakes? So I basically just break down and I have to tell Joe everything from start to finish about this weird party with this weird agent and the little things that I've been noticing all week, and that this was the last straw. And
Yo, the detail in this story is insane. How they get your car long enough? Where did you go without your car that they was able to get your car and do that repair to it and then give it back to you?
You don't understand how this works. They know everything. They know everything, your sleeping habits, they know all of that. Let's go.
What?
Joe believed me because we used to drive around in my car together all of the time, and sometimes he would drive my car. And he made me promise that I did not get that fixed. The gear shifter was still broken yesterday and it's fixed today, and I didn't do that. So that won him over, and he basically said, we need to get out of here. It shook him too. He didn't like the idea of these people in the house. When I told him I didn't get the half and half, when I told him all of these things that were adding up over the last couple days, it freaked him out. He's like, bro, we got to go back to your apartment. We got to get your stuff. We got to get you out of here. Then my entire world is shattering. I moved out here and all of these things were going great for me, and I had a place and I had friends, and I didn't want to leave. Maybe the stuff will die out. I'll be able to work with other people. It's going to be okay. I don't want to just leave my apartment, leave all my stuff. But Joe insisted that we went back to my apartment to grab his stuff and mine and then go stay at a motel before he leaves the next day. And when we got to my apartment, David was in the lobby with other creators by the cafe again, and I went up to him. I didn't really have any idea about what I was going to say to him.
Why did you go up to him again? You can't let it go. They was in on it, homie. They was in on it. And you're going to go up to him again? Oh, boy. Let's rewind that part again. Y'all got to hear this. Y'all got to hear this. Let's go.
Great for me, and I had a place and I had friends, and I didn't want to leave. Maybe the stuff will die out. I'll be able to work with other people. It's going to be okay. I don't want to just leave my apartment, leave all my stuff. But Joe insisted that we went back to my apartment to grab his stuff and mine and then go stay at a motel before he leaves the next day. And when we got to my apartment, David was in the lobby with other creators by the cafe again, and I went up to him. I didn't really have any idea about what I was going to say to him. All he did was hand me a coffee, ignore everything that I said, and walk away. But then when I looked at the coffee, it had a little napkin wrapped around it. I saw that something was written in Sharpie on the napkin. It said, I'm so sorry. You have to leave tomorrow with him. Otherwise, it's me and you. And I went upstairs and I packed a couple backpacks and I left LA the next morning with my...
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? They let David know, the YouTuber, and him know what's up. Let's listen to that part again of the napkin. Woo-wee!
Great for me, and I had a place and I had friends, and I didn't want to leave. Maybe the stuff will die out. I'll be able to work with other people. It's going to be okay. I don't want to just leave my apartment, leave all my stuff. But Joe insisted that we went back to my apartment to grab his stuff and mine and then go stay at a motel before he leaves the next day. And when we got to my apartment, David was in the lobby with other creators by the cafe again, and I went up to him. I didn't really have any idea about what I was going to say to him. All he did was hand me a coffee, ignore everything that I said, and walk away. But then when I looked at the coffee, it had a little napkin wrapped around it. I saw that something was written in Sharpie on the napkin. It said, I'm so sorry. You have to leave tomorrow with him. Otherwise, it's me and you. And I went upstairs and I packed a couple backpacks and I left LA the next morning with my friend, and I never went back. Joe and I rushed out of that city as fast as we could. I packed as much of my stuff as I could, and we just started driving. We were both genuinely scared for our safety at that point. So we decided to skip Joe's scheduled flight and just drive to Las Vegas. And then we were just going to fly home from there. There was something that just felt comforting about being out of the state. Not to mention, Joe wanted a real briefing about what went down, because I had just basically told him the cliff notes and begged him to believe me so that we could pick up and leave as soon as possible. For the first 2 hours of the drive, we primarily kept our heads on a swivel and just made sure that we didn't take any wrong turns to further extend this trip. There were a few cars that made me feel like we were being followed, but it was just my paranoia enhancing an A-type personality driver into a stalker. Once we were out of California's state lines and into Nevada, we could both finally exit. I felt real relief wash over me for the first time since I got kicked out of that party. We stopped about 15 minutes into Nevada at a pit stop. We used their Wi-Fi to book a hotel for Vegas that night, along with the plane tickets for the next morning. Once we had our escape plan fully booked, Joe just started laughing, and I couldn't help but just start laughing too. We shared a lot of crazy stories growing up, and we always seemed to find ourselves in sticky situations together. So it was just hilarious that his fun trip to visit me turned into this. It felt really good to laugh about it because it made me feel like it was finally over. We got back into the car to continue our drive, and Joe playfully said, "So you have 1 hour to explain to me why we're fleeing Los Angeles over some half and half and a gear shifter before we get to Vegas and we make this trip worth it." I realized how bizarre this whole situation must have looked from his perspective. He flew in for a fun vacation and arrived to see his friend in a crisis. As I started to explain to him the series of events, things really started to click for me, especially with his input as a police officer. I'm going to recap some of the events that I had already explained, but with the conclusions that we came to together. Clearly, the man that invited us to the party was a predator, and we were just perfect targets for him. We were young kids with enough of a following on socials to influence all of the other young creators in the area. We had just made a major change in our life by moving across the country, and we were completely isolated from our families who we could consult with about important decision making. And we were in a bad financial situation because at the time, just having a following on the internet didn't equal revenue. We were perfect targets to be indoctrined into a system where they could have full control over our budding careers. And apparently that's exactly what cult-like communities look for potential members. Not to mention, we were in LA trying to make a career in entertainment, and it seemed like they held the key to our dreams. As I was explaining to Joe the invitation and how it showed up to my house, we came to the conclusion that this guy approaching us at that party was not a coincidence. He had to have been scouting us prior to the time that I thought that we just met by chance. The party itself was a trap as well. When I finally had the chance to process what he said to me about the slow drip is better than a flood, it really started to make sense. Each room was designed to slowly introduce you into giving into temptation and sin. Everybody there being so nice and inviting was clearly on purpose. Seeing all of these people that you've looked up to for years indulging in these temptations of each room and inviting you to join in with them is perfect peer pressure. You don't want to let your idols down, so you voluntarily engage in an activity in each room that just gets progressively worse and worse. And of course, they start with flirtiness and overeating delicious food. And of course, spirits, because those things are so easy to give into. But the temptations of the night keep getting worse as you go on. He wanted me to feel the slow drip, so when it was time to commit the heinous acts of the 6th room, it didn't feel like a flood. It's clear why they kicked me out when they did. I wasn't indulging the way everybody else had. And when it came to the time to defame my religion, it was the last straw. Most people, like myself, would think it was just part of the party theme. But to them, it's the test to see if you're broken down enough to defame your religion for the fun of the party. That's why the 6th room was the flood. It was dramatically worse than the rooms that I had experienced. And the only way somebody would give into the peer pressure to do what they were doing in that room is them being primed to do so with everything that happened before and had just spoken the words that they're not God-fearing. I realized that the people that would go to that party didn't just blow up overnight because of the power of that little cultish group. They scouted young creators like myself and David, who they believed were going to blow up regardless of their help, and get them to commit heinous acts on camera. So when they did eventually blow up, they had the perfect blackmail on them to control them. They would try to get to you early, so before you were making money independently, so that they could control you. Because if you were already established and wealthy, why would you even care about going to a party like this? You just don't care. It's too late for them to infiltrate your life. Do they help you with big collaborations? Yeah, but these collaborations are built off of fear and trauma. That's how they keep their group so tight. You can't get into this group unless you also do these horrible things. They kicked me out and let me leave because they thought I actually didn't see anything too bad. From the outside perspective, I had just gone to a cool A-list party in a beautiful home filled with beautiful people and amazing food. I couldn't say anything bad about it publicly without sounding bitter that I got kicked out. That's how groups like this need to operate. From the outside looking in, it has to look amazing and wonderful to be a part of. From the inside, they need blackmail that's so bad on you that you can never speak out against it without getting your reputation destroyed. It made sense why they went after me the way they did. They need to do things to me that only I would notice because they couldn't be seen openly harassing. It would make them look bad. So they had to infiltrate my privacy and scare me secretly. I still don't know how far they would have gone to get me to leave the city, if they would get violent or try to get me to fall victim to an accident. But they wanted to scare me out of the city. And I thought back to my very kind friend that warned me about this part and how secretive he was being about how much he knew about it. He couldn't just openly say how weird those people were because it would make him a target. He just knew that if he kindly declined their offers and acted like he knew nothing about them,
He knew not to tell you because you would have told David and all those people everything, and he would have been gone. So he was smart enough not to tell you. He just warned you. Sometimes you just got to listen to the freaking warning for your own freaking good. Because if he would have told you, he know you talk too much. And that's another thing. That's why you can't tell everybody everything. Because some people, they talk too freaking much. They don't know when to shut their effing mouth. Shut your freaking mouth. When somebody tell you something, shut up. Because it could be for your own good, for that person's good, and your family good. This stuff is real. There's certain things you just gotta be like, you know what? Okay, I'm okay. Let me be quiet. The guy told you in code not to go. You wanted more information. What is it? So if he would have told you, now he's gone. Are you gonna bury him? Let's go.
He could go about pursuing his career unbothered. And it really made sense why they would target potential big creators as well. Because if the kid with the most clout is a part of this group, and the only way to collaborate with him was to go through the same indoctrination, they would be able to control an entire generation of creators. To be honest, they're very good at what they do. There was a clear system that they followed, and the way that they approached harassing me out of the city, it was done at a professional level. Joe told me that it's called gang stalking, and that most of the time, it actually isn't happening. And what I mean by that is most of the time that somebody reports that a crime like this is being committed, it's actually a paranoid schizophrenic having an episode. So they harass you in a way that even the police department would consider it a mental disorder, opposed to gang stalking. Everything about the way these people operate is cult-like, and everything that they do is intentional. I was never even a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but my perspective on show business in Hollywood completely changed on the way to Vegas. All the dots connected, and I saw how truly evil some people in that industry actually are. And when I got to Vegas, I started to see how openly they show it. I know I've spent this whole time talking about how secret and exclusive this party was, and how everybody that knows about it has their lips zipped shut. But when we had arrived at our hotel near the Strip, I started looking around at the big signs and promotions, and they really don't hide it. There was cultish symbolism in all of the music, live performances, and movie trailers. What used to look like just cool designs and eccentric artists was blatant symbolism for what was actually going on. I will never look at showbiz the same after that. I'm extremely happy being an independent artist, safe in the middle of the country, away from those cultish hedonists. I never received another letter or heard from David again, but what I can tell you is that everybody that was affiliated with that group became massively famous, but everybody involved fell as hard as they ascended and have had even more massive controversies. And to anybody pursuing a life in the arts or social media, do not fall into this trap. They will promise you everything that you've ever wanted, but they'll take it away whenever they please. And I promise you will hurt the people around you in the process. Welcome to the society. Guys, if you enjoyed this story and you want to watch more, I have plenty of full stories and episodes on the channel. We have the Stairs, the Giggler, and we have a...
All right. All right, y'all. Now it's time to open up the link. Where's my camera? Why my camera's not on? Hold on a second, y'all. My camera's not on. What's going on? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Let me see what's going on with my camera. Camera's not on. Uh-oh, camera's not on. Camera issue, y'all. We got a camera issue. We got a camera issue. All right, so I'm going to put the link in the chat. Going to put the link in the chat right now. Hold on 1 second. All right. Let's see. Let me get the invite. Terrific, Tasha. How you doing? Good to see you. All right. So if you want to follow me, Terrific, Tasha, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm going to send you my Instagram. Let me know it's you. If you guys and ladies is going to follow me on Instagram, you have to let me know you real. It can't be no robot. I need to have a face-to-face conversation with you. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you have to message me, right? Terrific Tasha or anybody that want to talk behind the scenes. You have to message me and we have to have a video face-to-face. If you ain't doing no video, I would not invite you. Straight up. For you ladies, And guys, I got to see some evidence. Okay, that's my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram and you decide you want to send me links, you know what I'm saying, let me know. So the link is in the chat. If anybody want to come on and talk about it, thank y'all for liking the video. Well, that's a mouthful what he said. That's definitely a mouthful what he said for real. No joking. Let me see what's going on with the settings. See if it works now. Okay, there we go. Can y'all see me now? Can y'all see me now? Is I'm blurring? Is I'm blurring, y'all? Let me know if I'm blurring. Is I'm blurring? Okay. Now I'm blurring. Y'all don't see me well? Do I need to turn the light on? Give me 1 second. Let me turn the light on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm not blurring? Okay. All right. So anybody want to come on? The link is in the chat. Anybody want to hop on the platform? You want to come on and talk about this? Or you want to talk about something else? The link is in the chat. You show yourself on camera, and then you could use your avatar. You have to show yourself on camera before I let you on. Show yourself on camera, then you could be on your avatar, okay? I'm not letting anybody on that I'm not familiar with their avatar. You have to show yourself on camera, then you could be on your avatar, talk your talk. So let me see if my brother Zach is available. Let me text him. Let me see if Sean the Navigator is available on Instagram. Let me see if he's available. He might be at the site. Give me 1 second, y'all. See if he's available. Give me 1 second. Any of you ladies want to come on now, ladies. You want to come on and talk? You want to talk to me about anything? What's on your mind and stuff like that? Let me see. Let me send them a message. I appreciate y'all supporting the stream. I will definitely shout out the Cash App. Hold on 1 second. Send him a message. He probably busy. Let me see where's he at. Okay. Okay, so let's see what you guys saying. Let me look at the chat. We'll see what y'all was saying earlier. Yeah, he had a big mouth. He talked too much. You can't be saying everything. You don't know what these people know. They could use it against you. Okay, Sean the Navigator is coming on. Sean the Navigator is coming on in about 5 minutes. All right, we're going to have Sean the Navigator come on in about 5 minutes. That's good. Okay, let me see. Zach said something? He didn't say nothing yet. Let me see. I appreciate those who supporting the Cash App. I will shout you out at the end of the live stream. Thank y'all for supporting the stream. Thank y'all for liking the video. Thank y'all for viewing. Joey says, not at all, for what does it profit us to gain the world and lose our soul? Nothing at all. That is the worst decision to make at Charity Ivy. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Hold on 1 second. So let me tell him to look at the link in the chat. When he come in the chat. Let me type into when you come in the chat, I will put the link there. Okay. Let me see what else you guys are saying. All right. Charity says earlier he can't say anything more than he has. He is in hiding. Yeah. Jacqueline said, what is wrong with these demons? So true. God West says, oh, sin of pride. Yep. Joey said earlier, Luciferian worship is celebration of the flesh in a very wicked manner. Yeah. Absolutely. Very true. Jacqueline said earlier, like a Masonic temple. Yeah. Y'all really on it. And then she said, like the movie One Eye Open. Yeah. Charity said, yucky, yucky, yucky. Yeah, it's very disgusting. God West said that heavy love preaching. Yo, that's so true. God West, you on fire today, man. That's so true. Yo, that's a true thing, man. It's not funny. At the same time, it's true. He said they have mansions on the hills in certain parts of LA. You can feel the evil presence in these homes. On the outside, they look lavish, but you can sense with a whole bunch of evil go down. Yeah, absolutely. Let me scroll back up. Richard says, Jacqueline, that's the good county. It's the best place to live in America. He's talking about Florida. I believe he's talking about Florida. Yeah, he's talking about Florida. Yeah. Okay. Zach said earlier he looks familiar. I think he does reactionary based from relationships. Thank y'all for putting the Skip Police channel. The Skip Police channel. Thank you, moderators. Okay, I read that earlier. Joey became a member in the super chat. C. Rob said earlier, the streets are always watching. Absolutely. Okay, where's Terrific Tasha comment at? Let's get to her comment. Where's Terrific Tasha at? Terrific Tasha, where's she at? What's her comment? Welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning into the show. Justine, how you doing, Justine? She said, oh, man, I saw this last week. Crazy stuff. Yeah, absolutely, Justine. Yes, it's wild, right? I'm looking for Terrific Tasha's comment. I know I saw her here. Okay, Shauna Navigator is here. Let me put the link in the chat. Okay, Shauna Navigator, the link is in the chat there for you. Okay, let's see. What's Terrific Tasha's comment? I know my mind ain't playing tricks on me. What's going on with you?
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, man. Talking about the doors, man. I want you to chime in on this because you also know about these doors that goes on in Houston, certain events that you probably privy to, and people do certain things and stuff like that. I know you haven't seen a live, So this guy talked about 6 doors, 7 doors, and he showed the envelope. What I've been telling people, it's an envelope they send you, and they have the seal with your name and the harvest and all that. He showed the receipts, fam. 2024, the year of exposure.
Telling you.
Now, let me ask you this question. Did they ever try to get you to go in the industry? If so, how they went about it?
I mean, I've had offers like since and people know if anybody has seen some of the music that I do, I do music. So I mean, I've had offers in the past, saying to go in the industry from either just outright going to somebody's studio, certain events. Um, I ain't never got nothing in the mail like that, but it's usually, especially even with me working in a grocery store, sometimes you'd be shocked that you even have uh, certain artists might show up, in a grocery store and be like, oh, don't, they'll even, you'll even be surprised. They'll even know that you do music and be like, yeah, if you ever want to get down with us, we can talk about record deals or whatever. You'll get information. They'll give you their information. Some of them have business cards. You can get all different, kind of options in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Um, so with us, especially knowing what we know on the most side, we have to be careful, man, with some of these offers. Because again, these invitations are also portals. They're doorways, into Luciferian activity. And then when you think about how many different rappers over the past 5 to 10 years that have, lost their life, we ain't got to go back to the days of Pac and Biggie and things like that. I mean, just look at what happened. Especially you talk about my city. Look what happened with Takeoff. Look what happened with Big Pokey. You know what I'm saying? And then even uh, in other areas like California, PNB Rock, Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying? Brothers like that. Even in like Tennessee with Gangsta Boo, you know what I'm saying, with the whole little fentanyl joint, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to always be with a gun, you know what I'm saying? They can, like I said, they can slip something in your drink. Um, they can, what I'm saying, God forbid, no side forbid, if you know, hopefully this ain't the case with any of us, but if you still dealing with the leaf, they can slip some in your leaf. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta be careful out here, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, like it says in Proverbs 22:3, shrewd is the one that has seen the calamity and proceeds to conceal himself, but the inexperienced have passed along and they suffer. So we got we
Mhm.
gotta be careful.
That's right. You think about it, right? I talked about the situation of they make themselves known to try to get up with me at the Marriott in a certain part of Florida, and I saw a New York car there, and I know that New York car was a person that was very well known. Even though I'm back here now, and I see their faces, they know not they know I know them. They know me for the most part. At the same time, I'm not. I have not taken no oath. I did not go through the door. They know I know certain people in the industry. I have family members in the industry. So do you. Mostly everybody in the truth have a family member that's in the music industry
Oh
or
yeah.
the industry. At the same time, you know, when I was a teenager, right, y'all, I was so good in basketball. I had Brent Barry and the Barrys came to see me. They had a photo of me wearing number 33, a New York number 33. I was a good defender and I was doing pretty good offensively. So when you have Brent Barry, the legend Brent Barry in the NBA come to see you and have his family in the church that I went to, the Yogi Bear Church, the ministry. They call it the Yogi Bear Ministry. For those in New York know who Yogi Bear is. Ringo, everybody know who Yogi Bear is. I used to go to Yogi Bear when I was a pre-teenager, all the way to 18. So by the time I reached 17, I was so good with my craft that they invited me to one of the places in Jersey. They was there, NBA analysis was there, and me and a guy go by the name of Darren, who was going at each other. He used to play for this particular high school. I played for John Jay High School. So I played against Reference Austin, Stephon Marbury, you name it. So they know who I am. My mother Anthony knows my grandmother because he used to stay in Red Hook back in the days. I mean, he's of course a lot young, a few years younger than us. He was doing his thing. He was coming up and up and up in junior high school. He used to play against us high schoolers. So the thing is, they've been knowing about me. They got that picture of me to this day. The Brent Barrys, they got the picture of me to this day. The NBA, the league, the LeBron, all of them know who I am. Because once they got a photo of you, they worship that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the biggest photo, and Darian was better than me. It's not about who's better. They saw, even when I was a teenager, I didn't know the truth. They saw the influence I had with the ladies, with people always imitating what I was doing without knowing they was doing it. So however I talk to the ladies and I'm not there, the guys were listening to how I talk to the ladies in school. They will use my talking points to get the ladies in the school. Because once I had certain things situated and being a so-called popular man, I venture off to Cardozo, Bayside High School, and that's when LL came up with that song in Cole about me. She was raised out of Brooklyn. I'm from Queens. I'm raised from Brooklyn, and she in Queens. It's a reverse psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So LL knew who I was. Definitely Jay and them knew who I was because of the things I used to do in Harlem back in the days in the streets. So my thing is that when they see you know how to get people to change their ways, good or bad, they want to use you for that.
Right.
The other person could be better than you. That's like Tekashi 69 said. He said there's people out there that have good songs. They're not going to put you on because you ain't sell out. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how it is. There was people better than me in basketball that gave me the business. So a lot of these players I played against, Dion Waiters and them, and like I told the people that I do the contract with, I played well against Carmelo. Yeah, he's good, but I gave him the business. I beat YJ Wanda, who's a great defender. At the same time, I beat him in Harlem, 9-7. I was giving him the work, and I was more slimmer. The thing is, he's a great defender. Yeah, I gave him the work. You know what I'm saying? So you got guys that's not in the NBA that's better than most NBA players, man.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
Teresa Weatherspoon had it. I know all of them back in the days. And Teresa Weatherspoon was giving me the business. She defended me well. I scored maybe 2 points on her. Teresa Weatherspoon was that chick, man, back in the days, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of chicks, man. That you know what I'm saying, they get out here and they can be dudes. I used to do this on purpose, man. This is one thing I used to do. I used to purposely it'd be me and then a whole team full of women. We go out there and play men and just dog
Yeah,
them.
you play the men. Yeah, me too. I had the chicks from UConn. You know, UConn back in the days was good.
Oh yeah, they was that squad, man.
We was playing at the YMCA against Dion Waiters' Syracuse team, and we beat them. Them chicks could shoot. They was all into me. They was like, damn, you giving these men the business. These are college players. And then Dion Waiters, they told Dion Waiters, yo, you know, Rollo's over here. He pulled up before he became, what was he, the third pick of the NBA in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Dion Waiters the ball is that guy that worked at the YMCA. He was giving Dion Waiters the business. And then I gave him the business. That's the crazy part. He gave Dion Waiters the business. And then when I played against him on 3-on-3, I gave him the business. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, Deion Waiters, man, what messed him up with the NBA was his attitude. Had he had a better attitude,
They
he
couldn't
could
control
he
him,
could have
though.
been
They
something.
couldn't control him. You know how they control certain athletes?
Yeah, they couldn't control him, so that's what that was. It was similar to Rashad McCants that came out of North Carolina. That's why, he didn't rise to the levels that they wanted him to. They couldn't control him either.
Mm-hmm.
It's another reason why Rasheed Wallace, as good as he was, he ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Couldn't control him.
he told too much truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's going on with Damian Lillard. I told you, I told Newbury, I don't see Milwaukee. The Knicks is going to the NBA Finals. The Knicks is going to the NBA. You see how the Knicks playing?
Oh yeah.
You see how Jalen Brunson scored 61 against the Spurs last night, and they lost to the Spurs. Yo, Jalen Brunson is that guard, man. He's a problem.
Let's talk about the Spurs for a minute. I feel like a lot of the games that they winning is because they trying to push Wemby. You know what I'm saying? So they
Well,
trying to.
Wemby been balling lately.
I know. Now I'm saying I get it. No, Wemby can ball, but a lot of them games that they gonna have the Spurs win a lot of games late in the season because they trying to
I should
they
put some
trying to
money
they
on
trying to
them.
market
You say I
Wemby
should put some money on
so they
them?
can get somebody over there.
You
Just
say I
Trey
should
Young
put
was
some money
already
on
talking about he would love to play with Wemby, so they trying to set it up to get either him or somebody else over there. Maybe him and somebody else over there.
You
So,
think I should
he
put
can
money
give us
on
some
them?
help.
You think I
Huh?
should put some money on the San Antonio Spurs to cover the spread?
You talking about tonight's game or what?
No, in general, should I put more money in them to cover the spread?
Not this. I wouldn't put no money on San Antonio this year.
No, I'm saying cover the spread, not like cover the spread because they've been covering the spread and sometimes been winning the games of late. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see. It's the third. This what the 30th. I would say probably like when you get to the last week of the season, maybe they might start covering the spread more consistently. But I don't know, man. It's a gamble with San Antonio, man, because 1 minute Wemby scoring 35, 40 points, and the next minute, they getting blown out. They up and down. They definitely need to give him some help, which they will, because they got the league backing them. I look for San Antonio to be a lot better next year than they are this year. They ain't finna put the number one pick over there and not get this man some help.
I'm just glad baseball is starting because I put my tick. Everybody go to the Raleigh Sports Channel. I didn't hit yesterday. I was 5 out of 8 yesterday, meaning 5 wins, 8 losses, and then last week Friday I was what was it 7 parlay? I was 4-3. Yeah, 4-3 or 5-3, something like that. So my percentage today should be much better to win. I put in my ticket today, a nice big ticket. Because baseball, you can make serious paper.
Yeah.
On a parlay.
I think that's gonna be the next thing because I like to talk about sports too. I think what I'm gonna start doing is separate my sports stuff from, what I'm saying, the stuff that I talk about with the Most High. I might mess around and do one YouTube for sports, one YouTube for my music, and then keep my Sean the Navigator as like just strictly for Most High relationships and stuff we see that's going on that's
absolutely
Bible prophecy.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a couple of more questions and then we're gonna end this live stream. So did you had any unusual things happen to a vehicle you have or anybody approach any of your exes? Did you tell her anything that she told them and you kind of got that look of people staring at you in the way that they know who you are before you know who you are type of thing?
Let's see. Outside of what happened with my ex-wife when we were separated before we got divorced. Um, this is why I'm gonna just give some word of advice. No matter what woman you get, fellas, uh, never give her matching keys to any vehicle. I learned this when I was married to my now ex-wife. She had she had matching keys to the vehicle that my mom gave me. God rest her soul. You know what I'm saying? When she passed, she gave me this vehicle, right? So this is 2010. This is we separated for the first time. We hadn't got back together yet. I'm driving my vehicle to work. What I'm saying? I had already had to get my vehicle from where she had it at. It's crazy. So I take my vehicle to work. I come back. I'm on my lunch break thinking, okay, I'm finna, what I'm saying? I got something from the deli. I'm finna go sit in my vehicle. Vehicle gone.
Wow.
I know it's her. I ain't dumb. She the only one had keys to my car. I know it's her. And I called. I was like, did you take the van? And, yeah, I took the van. Da, 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 da. So that we went through that back and forth, man, for like
You think they
for
put her
like
onto it?
the whole 3 months until we ended up.
Before you continue, you think they
Yeah.
put her onto it because she must have told them something?
I
Do
mean,
she
of
know?
course, of course, our people put. What I'm saying? She admitted that that's what happened. Her people dropped her. I mean, she knew where I worked, dog, so she knew the van was gonna be there. She know I mean, once somebody's with you, they know your patterns, they know where you work. You know
No,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying the people that wanted you to get in the industry, do you think they approach her to do these
Yeah,
things?
it wasn't even them. It wasn't even them. It was just her people. Because we got to remember, I was a Jehovah Witness for 15 years.
Also, you was in the industry at that time.
So you know what I'm saying. So
Hold on, before you continue. You was in that industry of the Jehovah Witness at that time.
I was a dedicated, baptized Jehovah Witness regular
Do you
pioneer.
know that they're in that industry? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the industry.
So they knew what it was. It was like it wasn't hard for her to, and like I said, all her people witnesses. So bruh, it was real easy for them to find out information on me.
Mm. So you've been watched since you was young. You
Oh
said.
yeah, man. I wasn't raised a witness, but I was even as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was in what they used to call sites, which stands for students that are intelligent, gifted, and talented. So I've always been watched. I knew how to read at 2.5. By the time I was 3, I knew all my ABCs and I could count to 100. You know what I'm saying? So I was always heavily watched. People thought, and I was tall, so that didn't help either. So when you're that tall and you're that intelligent, they gonna automatically think you in school. By the time I was 3, people already thought I was in kindergarten or first grade. Just
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before we get to the next question. Do you think, looking at everything you know now by the Most High, that those women were sent that you dealt with?
I think, yeah, most if not all, yeah.
Mm. I do believe a few women were sent in my life, even the one that I ain't gonna say her name in Bayside. That that chick in Bayside, I didn't do anything with her, but she was off the chain. She was a Uish. We ain't gonna say the actual letter. She was a Uish in Italian, and she probably had some little Israelite blood in her. At the same time, it's like I believe she was in that Bayside Queens industry because that's where
Mhm.
my gang stalking started. when I went to Bayside. Not necessarily John Jay and Park Slope for the most part. When I was doing my thing in Brooklyn, they know of me. It's when I expand to Bayside, Queens. For those who live in New York, know Bayside, Queens in the 90s, it was not too many so-called blacks going there like that or have relations with any chicks that belong to those type of people. You get what I'm saying? So I met her in Queens Center Mall. When I used to cut school, I met her in Queens Center Mall, the old Queens Center Mall. And so she gave me that look, like, you know, when you come up in the 90s, women give you that look like, you know, you want me, so come on over here and talk.
Right.
You get the beeper number and stuff like that. Got the beeper
That
number.
yeah, that come hither look, man.
So I get her beeper information, right? And I'm just like, yo, I'm in another world. She's telling me she in Bayside. I said, what's Bayside? I looked it up. I was jumping for joy. I said, okay, I ain't dealing with chicks in the hood only. Now I'm gonna get me a chick that live in these big old homes. Not knowing that's when my gang stalking begin. They said, oh no. Now he's coming out here. And then the guy I thought who I was cool with in school, I told him about it. He lied to her and told her that I was dealing with a Pacific chick in high school because he wanted her.
Uh-oh.
So I believe he was trying to be my handler, even though he was in competition with me, as I know now when I left that school. He was the younger version. He was about, okay, so I was left back a couple of times, right? What they consider left back.
Right.
So he was, you know, a sophomore and I was a junior at the time this is going on, becoming a senior. And so he gravitated to me because he knew I was the man in John Jay High School with a lot of the chicks. And then when he said he knew about Cardozo, it's like certain people know what you do, what you even know when they do, and they have tabs on you. They have people they know because he had connections with people in Hillside, Queens. And Queens and Bayside is not too far from each other. And he's a so-called Jamaican man like I was. I was the real Yardie man. He was just wannabe, to my perspective. So whatever he told the chick, and you remember that house party 3, and Aunt Lucy said eating that poom and watching that, you know what? So I let her the house party 3 movie. And I believe he knew about it and he, you know, did his thing with her. And the crazy part about it is I saw her friends approach me at Queens Center Mall. And I said, I'm not who you think you are. I know the whole campus was watching. So skits was going on with me back in the days, what mostly the relationship that I had. When I was in Yogi Bear Church, man, I had so many ladies. I was smacking booties, all that stuff. You know, that's what we was doing back in the days, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shorties used to jump on me and stuff like that, jump on my back to let other guys know, hey, that's his territory type of thing. All type of thing. It was wild back. So they knew I had what it takes, the industry. So I believe Yogi Bear made that call and paid a lot of money for Brent Barry and them to come see me. They're like, yeah, this dude, we could use this so-called black man to have the youth to go into things that this guy was talking about earlier. I didn't really need them because I was doing my thing. The thing is, when you're doing your thing naturally, you don't need certain people around. They just can't control me.
Right.
When I sat down with Brent Barry, I told him things about the NBA. He was like, whoa. I was showing him plays that I did on the court, you can't do in the NBA. There's rules. Why you think Ref Austin and certain players can't play? Let me tell you something about the NBA and the court that a lot of people don't know. How you get initiated is you have to have a certain minutes. You have to cater to other men. You have to be a yes man in the NBA. I was not a yes man. I was like, everybody's going to eat. They wanted me to be in an era of being a yes man and not show all my talents because it's gonna expose the talent. And I was so good. So when I told Brent Barry about plays of his days, he was like, "Oh no, we can't have him. Mm-mm. He's not gonna follow. He's not gonna follow the rules in the skits because it's like a skit. You have to do certain things you don't want to do to make the people go against you and then cheer for you. So all the skits that be going, I was beating guys in John Day High School that I seen got almost into the pros. I was busting their behind because I just knew I had it in me. It's just that they did not. It's not about talent. If they can't control you and you don't know
Exactly.
they skip rules, you can't go in.
What you talking about right now kind of reminds me of what Kwame Brown said. Shout out to him. You know, everybody, you know, Stephen A. Smith and other guys like that, they like to make him the butt of their jokes. But uh, you know, when Kwame was talking about when the draft happened, he said everybody that went 1v1 versus him, you know what I'm saying, in the combine, they all got dogged. So it ain't that he couldn't play. And then he even talk about when you compare his stats to like when you do his, you know what I'm saying, per 36 minutes or, you know, per 100 possessions, and he right up there with all of the elite people. But, you know, if you only gonna give me about 10, 15 minutes a game, he said that's all I was getting, you know what I'm saying, at with the Wizards and with the Lakers. If all I'm getting is 10, 15 minutes a game to do what I need to do, of course, my numbers ain't gonna be as high as anybody else's. He said, but if you look, you know, saying and he said when I was with the Bobcats, you know, saying when I had my best season, you know, so I put up good numbers. So it's not that I couldn't play. I mean, I wasn't given opportunities. If I'm given an opportunity to show what I can do, then I can show everybody that I actually can play. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens with a lot of guys, man. It's a lot of talent, great talent in the NBA. But if you're only gonna give me 2 or 3 minutes a game or 5 minutes a game, then how can I really show what I can do? You know what I'm saying? Of course I'm gonna look like I'm trash if I'm only getting 5, 10 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm. And then you think about this all ties in to the party thing, guys, because it's party NBA, party politics. If you don't go with the blueprint and play their game, they're not going to let you in. And
Exactly.
why? You know what? Tom Temple though is allowing. You know, a lot of the league is upset with the Knicks. I'm gonna tell you why. He's gone against the grain. If you look at the Knicks this year with McBride and the dude that play came from Toronto. If you look at the Knicks, they could be anybody.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't, yo, I think they mad because the Knicks been beating everybody. That's good. So once in the blue, they're gonna lose to teams that's not in the playoffs. If you watch the Knicks, fam, they should win the NBA Finals. The question is the league gonna allow it?
I don't know because you know they really trying to push Boston, either Boston, Denver, Boston, Minnesota, Boston, OKC. They really trying to push Boston. You know, if they can't get Boston in there, they trying to get Milwaukee in there. We'll see though. You know, we'll see. You
Even
know,
Orlando's a good team. Orlando's a good team. The
yeah,
thing,
they kind of remind me of the way Sacramento came out the blue and was good, you know, good young team, and even what OKC's doing right now this year in the West. You know, that's what Orlando and OKC this year. That's kind of what they remind me of. You know what I'm saying? Like this year's version of Sacramento. You know what I'm saying?
it's
So,
like, you know why I say the Knicks gonna win? It's like the '04 Pistons. The Pistons were not supposed to win that championship.
yeah, they what that was
They
supposed to be
man,
the Lakers championship.
manhandled the weakness of the Lakers I've never seen in NBA history, fam. In NBA history. Not even the Bulls could have beat that Lakers team. The way Chauncey, Rasheed, Ben Wallace, they let Ben Wallace do his thing finally. The league, man, there's some talent, young guys in the league, man. It's just as better as KD, LeBron, and them. They just not getting the shine.
I kind of slightly disagree with the Bulls thing. I think that Bulls team with Rodman and them would have beat even that Lakers team because that
Oh,
Lakers,
yeah.
hold on, let me finish because that Lakers team wasn't focused. You got to remember that was that was the year right after, you know what I'm saying, all of the stuff that happened with the Kobe and the Colorado thing.
And him and Karl Malone did not get along. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kobe and Karl Malone didn't get along. Uh let's see what else. GP was cool with Kobe, but Gary Payton and Karl Malone didn't get along. They ain't like each other. You know what I'm saying? It was just too much infighting with that team. You know what I'm saying? Even though they had Phil Jackson as a coach, you know what I'm saying? Phil could only do so much. Shaq already knew that was gonna be his last year. He was already discussing stuff with Miami while he was in the while he was in the playoffs. Shaq
Yeah.
already knew he was gone, man. So it's like mentally he had checked out, man. Yeah, and even Kobe before, you know what I'm saying, the Lakers had signed him, he was thinking about leaving because he was thinking about trying to resurrect Chicago because he wanted to be like the heir apparent to MJ. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
him and MJ was close.
The league wasn't going to allow that. No, I'm not saying Sean is yeah, Charity. He's right. I'm just saying that the reason why I say the Bulls may not have won because Kobe at that time and Jordan and them was having issues too. Don't forget with Dennis Rodman, they was having issues, him and Pippen.
Yeah.
So we can't dismiss that. I just think Detroit, man, the way they man, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that in the NBA before. You know what I'm saying? And the Knicks remind me of the Pistons, fam. And this is 20 years, from today. They could win the championship. They could win the championship, man. Because they got a great coach. He's finally not listening to the elite coaches. He's letting these other guys with the talent play, man.
Y'all got Randall and Robinson back yet?
Robinson's back.
Randall not though, huh?
In the last 5 games he should play. And then OG Opanovi. OG?
Yeah, Anobi. He's all. I really felt like Toronto never really gave him a chance anyway.
Yeah.
I thought with Kawhi being gone, I thought eventually that was going to give Anunoby his time to shine, but basically gave up on him. He just kept getting lower and lower on they depth chart.
Knicks made a
So,
great move getting him and that other dude.
mhm.
Got rid of RJ Barrett. So my last question.
That's a good point. That's a good move. Not to cut you off, but that's a good move. I felt like Barrett couldn't play no defense. He wasn't really a two-way player. He's just all offense and no defense.
Let me ask you this last question. If you said something about the working place, I'm glad you brought it up. Is it any working place you believe you currently doing or any other place you've been at that you have certain women, certain men that was paid to watch you that were from the industry?
I feel like there's, especially currently, without giving them too much information, I feel like there's several individuals that are getting something under the table to kind of watch me, especially now. I feel like all throughout my work career, because I've basically been with the same company outside of when I was in Oklahoma. Also, when I was in Oklahoma, I feel like with a certain company that I worked for then, I feel like people were paid to watch me. I just always feel like that just comes with the territory. Even before I knew my significance with the Most High, I was like I said, I always was searching for truth. So I always feel like I stood out as different because I never was the type of person that just wanted to blend in. I always knew I stood out as different. So I knew I was gonna never be the type of person that was gonna, you know, uh, fit in with the crowd. So I knew that people were gonna watch. But especially, like I said, especially now, it's a rarity to see somebody my age that don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so and also the things that I know and the things that all of my talents, yeah, they're gonna watch me, because I'm viewed as a threat. So I know people watching. They gonna always watch. Long as I have breath in my lungs and I'm in this dimension that the Most High has me in, they gonna watch. So just come with the
So
tip.
are you saying that you're more cautionary? You don't have to say yes or no. Are you more cautionary of the next chick that you're going to invite in your life and sit her down and explain to her the chances of her being watched and being mindful of what she did? Because I always tell men, hey, whatever lady you get with, you have to sit her down before you do anything with her because her world ain't going to be the same. And sometimes people don't believe that. And then when they get with you, they were
Then
ain't
they see.
not the same. We're not the type of guys that. Let me say this to you: it's not being fearful, ladies. We're not trying to fear you away, and then you don't want to talk to me or Sean or anybody you choose. You got to understand when you deal with this world, it's not a man's man for the most part. It's too many yes men. This is something you have to see. We could explain it and show you blue in the face. Until you know what it's like to be with a masked man, you have no clue how life really is. Until you get with a masked man. Is I'm saying anything wrong, Sean, or it makes a lot of
It
sense?
is. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, any woman that I'm interested in going forward, they gotta know what they're getting into. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we feel like, well, let me get to know her first and then I'll drop it on because we be afraid that we gonna run them off. I've done that in the past, but now I'm like, nah, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I gotta let you know this is what you get into, you know. Ain't no sense in
Because we are own celebrities without even trying to be celebrities. They look at us as celebrities.
right. Just and that's biblical because it says that that what so Paul said. He said we've come to be a spectacle.
We come to become a spectacle, yeah. And it's not to say certain of you ladies are celebrities. There was women like Sarah, your foremother, Rebecca. They were so beautiful that other men wanted them for themselves, and they thought that. And when Abram said that Sarah was his sister, that resembles of him having intercourse with his wife, that they look like brother and sister. He was a
Right.
he was fearful that the men will kill for her. And there's people out there there's women out there when they see you with us, they're going to try to make you go crazy because they want us too on the low. It's a lot of crazy things be going on, y'all.
And also, not to cut you off, but at that time though, uh just like Abram, he broke that down because the bloodlines were different. He said, and she really is my sister. He said the daughter of my father, just not the same mother. So she literally was his sister, you know. But
That was before. That was before the law, statutes, and commandments. And like I said, the bloodline was more pure then. So the Most High allowed for certain things. That we that He didn't allow, that He doesn't allow now.
So wait. Hold on. You're saying
I'm
that?
not saying it. The scripture said that.
No. I'm asking you. So Sarah and Abram is really brother and sister.
Yeah. Matter of fact, where that scripture at?
Yeah, you gotta explain this. This is my first time hearing this.
Yeah.
I thought she comes from another culture and got with Abram and married. Okay, he's gonna get the scripture, y'all. We gotta hear this. We know that Jewish marry each other. We know that. Some of them do. Marry in family. Well, we know Lot and his daughters had children by their father. So we're gonna hear this one though.
I see Rollo didn't put the multi-screen up. Hang on. Let me grab the scripture.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you read. I'm gonna put you on the solo.
Just bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm trying to pull it up online real quick. I know it's in Genesis. I just want to hurry up and get to it real quick.
Charity said 20, Genesis 20:2.
Oh, Genesis 20:2. So okay, hold on. Let me see. I'll say because she got it. Okay, let me look. Make sure it's the one that I want before I get there.
She also said verse 5, 20 and 5. 20
Okay,
and 5.
okay, so shout out to her. Let's see. Abraham said of Sarah, his wife. This is Genesis 20 and verse 2. It says, Abraham said of Sarah, his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a wife. Verse 4, it says, But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto thee, She is my sister. And she, even she herself, said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. But there's another scripture though where they run into uh run into run into each other later. I think it's a different Abimelech this time though. And it goes into a little bit more detail, and it kind of gives a breakdown where it talks about that. Hold on.
Verse 12. She said, verse 12.
Yeah,
20.
see, yeah. This is the one I was talking about. It says, yeah, it said, and I'll start with verse 9. It says, Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, What hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee? And thou hast brought on me and my kingdom a great sin. Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What sawest thou? And that thou hast done this thing. And Abraham said, Because I thought surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet, indeed, she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife.
So they're not the same. They don't have the same father.
No, it said they don't have the same mother. It says
So
the daughter of
basically,
my father, just not the daughter of my mother.
so his father had Abram, and then he had another woman he lied with.
Right, he had a child with another woman. So it's like his half sister.
Basically his sister, because it's the same father. So why? Okay, now that makes sense. So why did they? We know Lot and his daughters got together during the time of Sodom, after Sodom and Gomorrah. So you're saying to me that this was allowed?
Sean didn't say it. The scripture said that.
The Most High is allowing it. I'm blessing your spirit, brother. I'm
Yeah.
blessing your spirit. You're doing good. You're doing good. No, you're right. Most High allowed it. So let me ask you this question. Is this going on right now, even though that's not going on? You're not supposed. Do you think this is going on today?
Man, we see. Come on, I'm from. That's all I'm gonna say on that. It's still going on, bro. And then you also got to look at like this, especially on a serious note, though.
Mm-hmm.
With all of the absentee fatherhood that's going on, like you don't even really know if any of the chicks that you messed with, especially if you didn't grow up with your biological father, you don't know. Because I didn't. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if any of the chicks that I messed with back in the gap, hey, some of them could have actually been my sister.
You know what? You're right about that. Yeah, you don't know your dad. Yeah, if you ain't know your father, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could have been a sister, could have been a first, second cousin.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
It do be going on. No, now you clarify with the scripture of what the Lord said. He allowed it to happen. The thing is, it was other women around though. That's why I'm not. I know Sarah is his sister now. I get it of why he said it. Clarification. Thank y'all for that. At the same time, there was other women around for Abram to have that he didn't have to do with his sister.
Yeah. 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 It's, like I said, Most High make allowance for certain things back then because
Even with the Lot situation, yeah.
yeah, and then the bloodline was more pure. So, you know, didn't what I'm saying, didn't have to worry about corruption as much as you would now. Now that would be like, even when I ain't gonna lie, even when I first read that, I was like,
Yeah, that's why it threw me off. I think he did it for protection reasons because he thought these people was out to get him because she was
yeah,
so beautiful. And now it makes sense. All praise to the Most High. You see how I humble myself?
yeah, yeah. I first read that, I was like, that's kind of weird.
Unlike somebody over there, we ain't gonna mention his name. Unlike somebody over there would be arrogant enough to go against his brother, saying you wrong, you wrong. I didn't do that.
Yeah. We ain't on that. We ain't on that Pastor Dow stuff over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
we let the word speak for itself over here, man, and we make adjustments. That's how we rock over here, man. I'm just, like I said, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be in a brotherhood that's of like minded, man. We, what I'm saying, we try to do what we can to follow what the scriptures say, but at the same time, we don't sit up here and try to act like we know everything. You know what I'm saying? That's been plenty of times, even on lives, and even when we talk behind the scenes, bro. Sometimes, what I'm saying, we, iron, just like it's saying Proverbs 27:17, man, iron sharpeneth iron. You know what I'm saying? We sharpen the face of each other. You know what I'm saying? You showed me things, I showed you things. You know what I'm saying? And we, instead of us trying to act like we just the lords over everybody, you know what I'm saying? We just, we humbly make the adjustment. That's what real men do.
That's right. Yeah.
Shout out to y'all, man. Yesterday when y'all went live, man, and that stream was fire in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And then Ringo, man, if he didn't put the death nail into Pastor Dow the straight way.
Yeah. Yeah.
He put the death nail into Pastor Dow the straight way.
Sure did.
It's crazy because it's like when you think about it, man, all Pastor Dow had to do. I mean, even right now, the Lord really giving him a grace period. All he has to do is repent.
Mm-hmm. His fire's in the way. Okay, Akim, final words. This has been a great live. Man.
Yeah, it has, man. Shout out to you, brother, for bringing me on. I know it was kind of toward the tail end. I wish I would have caught the stream at the beginning, but it's the savage, trying to catch up on some rest and a couple other things. But yeah, man, we just gotta be careful out here, man. Even in this late day and time, you know what I'm saying, there's still those forces that trying to get us to compromise. Kind of like what Dupree's stream was talking about today. That mark, they're gonna be trying to push that for that chip. So we gotta stay on board for that. Stay in His word, stay in the scriptures. Make sure that we're staying away from the corn. Avoid the honey traps, and saying if we are in that mode where we thinking about building with a woman, we got to make sure that at the very least they're open to talk about scriptures, and they're the type of woman that's gonna let us lead. There's a difference between a religious woman and a woman that's really humble and that's gonna let you take the lead. So I'll end on that.
Appreciate you coming on, man. And y'all make sure y'all subscribe. I'm gonna add his name to the title so y'all can subscribe to his channel. Let's get his channel over 300. He's already close to there.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming on, man. Until the next time.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Peace, everybody.
All right, people. Let me shout out the Cash Apps before I get on out of here. Okay, let's see who we got here. Let's see. The member Corey, thank you for the Cash App. Terrific Tasha, thank you for the Cash App. Joe earlier, thank you for the Cash App. And Randy, Ramadan, the video that I shared, thank you for the Cash App. And thanks to those who became a member and supported the stream via our super chat. Make sure y'all share this video. Let's get it over 100 likes. And thank y'all for viewing this stream. I'm going to do some cuts on the recent one I did yesterday, including with Mark the Messenger and this material here. I got so much material that I'm going to put on videos. Make sure you hit all notifications. Sometimes I'll be going live. Y'all go check out the videos I put in. The other video is going viral. It's already at, let's see what the views is at right now. All praises to the Lord. Last time I checked, it was at 1,500 views. Let's see what's up to right now. Let's check it out. Yesterday's video is at 1,600. It's keep going up. So this one is definitely going to be doing its numbers too. Mark the Messenger. Make sure y'all check that video with me and Mark the Messenger. Let's get that over 1,000 subscribers. If you're tuning into this one, tune in to the Leave the Church Behind with Mark the Messenger. Let's get that over 1,000. Let's get this video over 1,000. Let's get the likes up. Share the video. If you support via Cash App, I'll shout you out in the next video. Thanks to all the moderators for tuning in. All the lovely ladies. Charity, Jacqueline, Terrific Tasha. Thank you, moderators, for tuning in. You got Sean the Navigator, the fellas, Zats, and who else? Who else is a male moderator that's in my chat? Terrific Tasha got to holler at me behind the scenes when she's ready. I want to send some stuff to her on Instagram. Let's see who else of any of the male moderators that. D-Mad, of course. Shout out to D-Mad. And let's see. That's basically it. Anybody else I miss? You know, I can't scroll back up. I appreciate you all for tuning into the show. And this is Floridian Rollo. Let's go. Signing off. Let's play this jam on the way out, y'all. Let's play this jam on the way out. Now I'm going to take off the camera and play this jam on the way out.